What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
Poker, starting with a hand that we didn't finish yesterday. I want to point out this is a hand that I cannot justify my play on, so much so that I didn't even want to show it to you guys because and this was the one from like a week ago when I said I'll only show you this if no one makes a comment about it. But I've decided to actually learn and let people comment, and I think there might actually be something to learn from this, other than how he played. Okay. So we're in the regular 3-5-10 game. We get a raise of 35. Comes to us on the button with Jack 10 suited. If you called a Jack 10 suited here, it wouldn't be terrible. It's a good 3-bet. And I had been getting bad cards, so I hadn't been raising or playing for a while. So that pushed me towards the 3-bet. I think the 3-bet is better than just the call anyway in good play. But that's assuming you've got people who do fold some. If they never fold to a 3-bet, I think just call behind and take your equity. So, anybody disagree with that? Does that
Do you
sound
think you have an edge against the guy?
this was young Adonis. Yeah, I do. Not a huge edge. I didn't think he wasn't clueless. I don't know that he's going to telegraph his size and things like that.
I
You
Um,
just,
want
I just prefer if I think I have an edge to get heads up in position.
yeah,
But, if you think that it's pretty close, then call behind and bring some better, worse players in is fine
yeah.
too.
Didn't have a sense that these guys were worse or better. Yeah. Yep. So we got heads up in position, which is what we want. We got a pretty good flop. Check. I bet 75 into 225. So bet a third. Calls. At this point, what's his range? Uh, Probably not a lot of overpairs. You'd think you'd think that the biggest of overpairs 4-bet me, and the jacks and queens probably aren't really happy about letting another card come off. So they do some raising here. But he could easily have a 10. He could have queen 10, king 10. You could have ace 10 without without
Hmm.
necessarily check raising. All those make sense. Um,
9x,
the draws that make
nines.
sense. You know, queen, jack, queen, even 8-9 can be here. He's got draws.
If
He's got,
Also, if
he's
we
got
think that he's going to be calling too wide, the three bets, which most players are, then his range is significantly wider. He still has 7x, like you said, all the draws, pocket nines, which should be there,
yeah,
eights,
yeah. Sixes,
sixes,
sixes
fours.
might fold out. Sixes might fold out already. They might call for one more hand. All right.
Hmm.
We get the 9, which hits the 8-9 range there.
Hmm.
He bets out 300.
Oh, all right.
interesting.
Right.
So what was pot? He bet
He
basically
bet
pot.
300 into 375.
It's a little less than pot.
Yeah. So big bet.
So now what do we think about his range that donks into you? I think even a better player, this is not a bluff. The question is, what is going on here?
Hmm.
So
And
I think he's claiming either turn set or turn two pair.
yeah, and they make sense.
But
9.
Scotty is interestingly is blocking the most obvious two pair.
Yep. No,
So
I'm blocking there. He does 7-9 is less likely. I
I don't think we're folding yet.
No, we're not folding. We have enough equity to call. This is the move that I cannot justify.
Oh no.
I did. Um, and I can tell you that I didn't do it looking at the cards and looking at the bet. I did it looking at him.
Okay.
I
So you think
cannot,
this is a set my price, is what you're saying?
no, it seems too big to set your price.
Yeah. Because that's what I was saying. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this is
No,
really
no,
polar. This is saying
right. This is polar.
I've turned nuttiness.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's not doing it with the low equity part of that bluff side. It's if he's bluffing, it's going to be something like ace jack of hearts, ace eight of
Hmm.
hearts,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You wouldn't think it would be low equity. Um,
So we did
there,
keep him wide with his
Jack
small
eight can
C
be
bet.
there. I mean, Jack eight suited can be there, not likely, but pocket nines can be there, absolutely. Um, it doesn't make a lot of sense for pocket eights,
This
but I
would be
do,
the line that I would take with if I turned a set for sure.
yeah. but I didn't think about any of that. I thought this is what I actually thought in game, and this is I'm why I didn't want to bring it because I'm embarrassed. Um, I thought I don't want to call and have to get there. I think I have enough equity with the straight draw with this, and I looked at him, and his bet felt belligerent,
Hmm.
and I cannot
Okay.
describe that, but it was that, and this could have been my own head going that he was saying "fuck you," and I go, "Well, fuck you too," and I
Oh,
jammed
no.
like
Oh, no,
you
you
know
did that.
I did that, and
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I know it makes no sense, and he thought for a while. I liked that, so it didn't feel very steady, but it doesn't matter because my decision is made. And I don't know if what I saw in him, if the feeling I got was because I actually read something, or if because I was putting it there because of how I was reacting, because I what I felt.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
but that was the feeling. He sort of like he said 300, fuck you, and I went and I was like, I've never, I was fuck me, fuck you, and he calls. All right, and I say probably out loud, oh well, guess I got to get there, and did not turn up. We did not turn over our cards yet. I guess I better get there. And the seven comes. Well, and I probably say either in my head or out loud, I didn't get there, and neither did he.
What the actual F and
Yeah, what the fuck just happened?
That reminds me a little bit of the ace seven hand I showed yesterday.
Yep,
So he is
he's
not
got a double
confident.
gutter. He's got a
Even,
double
yeah.
gutter,
Wow.
and so I show this for for one example of how one specific opponent played. You know, um, so that's real information. I don't know why
You turned their hand over first.
uh, I
I guess you
think
did.
I think he did. It's in order how it goes.
Okay.
I think I didn't. I mean, I don't remember slow rolling or anything.
So I still don't like your play,
No, neither do I.
but uh, we know Solver sometimes will make this play, but I don't know if it's profitable over 100 instances against humans.
No.
Where the question is like, what
Solar
are
would
we
never be here.
doing on the turn? Like, what are we bluffing? Are we going for value? Like, what is the plan here?
Well,
Well,
the plan is to not have to make any more decisions.
yeah, I was going to
That's what it
mention
seems
that,
like. Yes,
and
is
Yeah,
that
that's
I
not
don't.
your, yeah.
yeah. This is not a play that I can logically explain. And that was the thing is I can't justify this.
Well,
But
maybe. So it sounds like you made a choice departing from kind of poker fundamentals in a spot like this and went very strongly into the read space.
yes,
Mhm.
and the read may have been nonsense. It was correct, but it may have been coming. This may be a reverse engineered read based on my feelings.
If your
So
read
I'm
was
not going to
dead on,
dismiss
then
that. I'm not going to dismiss your read here. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got decades of live poker experience. You've got more live poker experience than anybody else in this call combined. And so I'm not going to dismiss your read here. We all know this is fundamentally unsound.
Yeah.
However, we need to dovetail that with the understanding that you do have decades of live poker experience behind you. And maybe, I mean, and did you in your head being like, I'm gonna listen to my gut here? What's up? I mean,
No, not. I mean, I wish that I could come back and say that I looked at him, the bet felt belligerent, and I thought a set is not belligerent here, and I'm the best poker player in the world. That's what we've agreed to be for the next month. Therefore, trust your read. What does the best poker player in the world here do? Well, I remember a
oh,
commercial with Phil Ivey where, uh, from the original Full Tilt Poker, where he does the whole calculation. Well, I like my odds. I'm all in. But that isn't what happened. What happened was he bet 300. I looked at my hand and I go, I think this hand is good enough to go with, and I don't want to call, and I'm not going to fold. I'm all in.
Well, yeah, I think if you think you made this decision because you didn't want to face a really, really hard decision on river, then this is a very bad play, frankly.
Yes. Yeah.
However, if your
with your
decision was
read,
based more on a tell that he wasn't at top of range, and also coupled with the fact that this 9 doesn't really
Yeah.
point to a equity shifting card, then maybe it's good. But
Yeah.
it's really bad if it's because I don't want to have to make a choice on river.
I think both were there. But I definitely did feel he wasn't at top of range. If I felt strength in his bet, I would have been much more afraid to do this, and I wasn't
Well, let's
afraid.
talk about the term belligerent here. Because can we unpack what you mean by belligerent? Because I think that'll be helpful for everyone, not just me.
It's so hard. So I've definitely seen bets where the bet feels desperate.
Yeah.
Like he feels like he's got no other option, so I'm all in. Somebody's short stacked, you 3-bet him pre-flop, the flop comes out and they just go all in almost
Yeah.
immediately. And so you kind of decided like he's going all in with against any board that doesn't have an ace and a king. He just wants me to fold ace king. Right? We've all had that experience.
Sure.
You've probably had it live, and you've definitely had it online. And when you didn't have ace king and you called, you looked and you went, "What? That?"
Yeah.
You know. So that bet, I'm not going to say that his hand moved this way or anything. I'm saying that just your sense as a human was that feels flaily.
So not a well constructed
Right.
equity shifting turn card.
So
I'm now
this one,
allowed to dunk.
so this one, I don't remember the speed. I don't. It's not like I can say that he slammed the chips in or anything like that. I don't have any notes on what it was. I literally wrote down the feeling was it felt like a challenge.
Yeah. So that to me is dangerous territory because now you're talking about ego battles,
Yeah, yeah,
and that is a quick way to big losses. But
I think so.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I think if you get in the ego battle, and now Mike mentioned, yeah, I don't know if it's going to make a raise here in position. You're right. I don't know if Solver's going to do this, but we know Solver not always, but occasionally will meet aggression with a hand like this.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't. This is an interesting play, man. I'm not going to dismiss it as being horrible, but um, because I think
I can't justify it on fundamentals and logic. So
yeah,
maybe,
but it's interesting.
yeah, maybe in 6 months after we've practiced being the best player in the world, um, maybe what we'll do in hands we're not in is assign some emotions to bets that we see people make and see and track through when they go to the river how much they made sense. This is going to be for live play, not for online play.
Going to
Maybe
your
that
own assignment, Scotty, from before when he was thinking, what was he looking at? Did he ever look at you?
about the
Yeah, about looking at your opponent and what they look at when they're making a
After he did
decision.
it. Let's take a look in that note. I don't have that note whether he did that. He wasn't. All I remember on this one was, and I think let me just make sure of that. Let me just look through the notes and see if I have any other note written down. I can't justify this, but I was surprised how live I was. That's the note I made live. Okay, so I don't know, but I do remember the feeling when he didn't snap call me with nines, going, this may work. And that's why when he called, it was really easy to say, well, guess I better get there. Like this is ace 10.
You're not allowed to run it twice at your casino, right?
I don't know. I've never asked. I've never seen anybody do
No
it.
one does it, right?
We don't do it.
Interesting spot, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna hand it over to you guys, and I'm gonna get going. I will see you on Friday. Larry, you are the host, yes, so I can leave without
Uh,
breaking anything.
okay. Are you here all Friday?
I'm here all Friday. Friday's normal.
Okay, cool.
Okay, talk to you. And Monday. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Scotty.
Thank you guys. Scotty's the
Cheers.
worst.
Did you guys already decide what you want to do now? Do you want to, Mike? I think you had hands yesterday, or someone else.
Well, I do have hands. I don't think I had mentioned that, but I do have hands available. So
Um, well, okay. So I did my hands yesterday. Brian, you did your hands yesterday, right?
Yeah, I have more, but we can always do other people's hands.
Well, I'll let you guys decide. I mean, would you rather do some hand histories or some work on the trainer or both?
I was gonna say we go quick and then mess around with that new tool you got.
Sure. I don't. I'll show it right now, and I frankly do not. Okay, it is complicated, but I will show it to you guys until you get sick of looking at it, and then we'll do something else.
I was gonna say we can do hand history, then look at that, or Mike, do you
Uh,
have hands that you like wanted, like really wanted to look at, or are they kind of just whatever?
well, so um,
Does
I don't
anybody else
really
have
understand
hands
how
too?
this works yet. Why don't we
I'll
look
go
at
to
this?
hands.
You got some
You've
hands?
got hands?
Yeah.
I like looking at Josh hands. They're interesting.
All right. Why don't we do this? You got me thinking about this, and I'm really well
Yeah.
caffeinated now. So why don't we look at this for like 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Because maybe you guys can help me figure it out. And then
I was looking at the tutorial or the trailer for it, and it didn't look crazy
complex.
complicated,
What
but
is this?
now I'm looking at it, it might be a little bit more complex than I had thought.
What is this? This is a graphical interface which gives you information about player hand history. So you know how um Mike and Scotty show their hands, all hands face up? Well, what if you took 2.6 million hands, you put them in a database, and then I'm sorry, 140 million hands. You put them all in a database, and then you did some work on it to then begin to understand human tendencies relative to solver, right?
yeah.
So you've got data sets of hands here. You've got regs here at different buy-ins, but then most surprisingly, you have fish. Fish are decided by being over 30% VPIP and having a more than 9-point spread between VPIP and PFR. So what you can now do is you can compare data sets. You can compare data sets of how the fish play in a certain spot versus how the bot plays. And essentially the bot would be a database of how the solver plays in that spot, right? So it's solver versus, it's a compare contrast. In this case, we're comparing fish play versus solver play. And
This
what
is
I was,
fantastic because this is what we try to do, right? Every session. We look at our hands and we have our baseline of the things we've studied in the GTO solvers. We have that baseline and we try to determine based on what we've seen and our experience and the cards up and everything we've done in our experience of playing poker and decide, okay, well, we know what GTO does here, but the human population does this. So how should we adjust? This is basically just kind of showing us this, right? This is
yeah,
great, a great tool to confirm our biases and beliefs.
it is a really cool tool, and you'll see exploitative players use it a lot. So this is really a tool for exploit players, which any good player has got exploits, not just solver. But yeah, this is exactly what it is. And so for instance, what I'm trying to figure out, right? Like what I'm looking at now is in a single race pot in these two formations, what we would call configuration formation. So button versus cutoff, and cutoff. I'm sorry, SRP button versus big blind, SRP cutoff versus big blind. The caller, which is the big blind, when they bet here, right? So now I said they're not bet calling, and this is why I'm not really sure how it works. Bet folding, bet raising. These are all our options. Like
Click on
we can look at
click
check raise
on
next, which is interesting.
yeah, click
So
on
when
check
they
raise real quick.
so when
And
oh, okay, all right. You want to look at check
or
raise
just to
alert?
mess around with it, see if we can figure out how it works. So if you go look at check raise and then put a flop on the board. Put a flop on.
Okay, so first thing, this is check raise,
Hmm.
and this is all flops, right? So let's just look at all flops first. Check raise, and then you can break. So when they do it across, these are all the different sizes that they're giving them for check raise, and then you can look and see how much their hand is um composed of different hand classes, right? So it's two pair plus, um 22% of the time, top pair 25%, middle pair, and then you get to draws 13% of the time. So it's largely very
Waiting.
strong. And then
So
you
which
compare
one
from,
is the fish and which one is the bot?
so right now this is fish. So we have not gotten to a screen where we can compare that to what the solver should do. So this is just dataset group 1, I think. What if we click here? Ah, this is compare range value. So this is the top is, I think the top is fish, and the bottom is
Oh yeah, that makes
bot.
sense.
Yeah, look at that because they do
I
the
think.
bottom is bot because bot has a more balanced. Like if you go to the blue real quick,
Yeah, you could see
it
very
has more
clearly that,
draws. Yeah.
and you could even see it here in the bottom. I think that's what I'm looking at. I'm not sure yet. Now let's add it. Let's see if we can we add. So this report does not allow you to add a flop. So anyway, this is the kind of so then we could change this. So this is check, and then now we're on the. I think now we have to switch to razor.
Yeah, I would like to see their C bet frequency.
A fish c-bet frequency.
Yeah.
All right, so if we go to fish c-bet frequency,
So go to like single raise
SRP, but I
pot,
can flop
razor.
check the
No, go
caller
to
checks,
razor.
and then and then the razor after check here. No, we're already on. See, I don't really understand how it works yet.
Just
The
go to bet, press on B. Go to flop and press
Okay, we're
B.
on the razor. So on
Yep.
flop, they're going to bet here.
This should be C bet, right?
And we assume this is the razor.
Uh-huh.
Now, how do we know the caller check, though? That's the thing. Do we assume the caller check? The caller being the big blind here?
I would assume so. And
Yeah,
then
see, I
go,
don't like making
yeah.
assumptions here. This is science. This is hard science. So,
Bet size.
and we also have bet call, bet fold, bet raise, and that doesn't make sense if you're the imposition player.
Well,
So
bet fold. Yeah, bet call, bet raise.
this would be bet call, bet raise, bet fold to a check raise. So I'm not quite sure how the interface works yet, because this part to me is confusing because the caller obviously in this SRP is the big blind. The razor obviously is either cutoff or button, but I don't know how to delineate different betting lines and action lines using these two separators between caller and razor. So I'm not really sure how the interface works yet. Maybe you
Will
guys are smarter
this
than me and understand
will
it. But
this tool show us ranges of limping? Like, will it show a
open
range
limping?
open limping?
Ooh, that's a very interesting question. I do not think so, but I can ask. I could ask if I'll ask in the Discord if they have a way to show what a open limp range is. I'll make a note. Where do I make? Let me
They
make my way.
they have a YouTube channel, so I'm gonna watch some videos about this and
Yeah, yeah,
see
yeah.
if I can figure out what exactly is going on here. But I would think if you go button versus big blind
Open
with
limp.
razor and then B,
Can we
that should be C bet frequency.
open limpers? All right, hold on one second. I'm not good at multitasking. Open link, can we see the ranges of open limpers? Maybe even from different positions. That's a really good one, Mike. I'm on their Discord. I'll see if there's a way to look at that. And
We got
hopefully get
exploit
back by
ping.
Friday. All right. All right. So what I really wanted to first look at, and I'll Josh pass this on to your hands in just a second. I really wanted to see here as the caller. So in my head here, when we go SRP versus big blind, as the caller, when we bet, now this to me means on flop bet. Doesn't this mean to you guys a donk? Because now
Yes,
it's
that
the
would be
caller.
you would think
then-
that would be the donk.
And then, so then now we can look and see. Now, in this configuration, we have to look at all flops, not just any particular flops. But here, this means, when we see their donk size, what are they composed of? Well, first thing we can see is there's a strong, this is the frequency, right? The B50 is the most common, which makes sense for the fish. And the almost B90 or B120 is very uncommon, but we could see a strong correlation in strength, right? So like the B30 is composed of top pair plus 6% of the time, whereas the B90, two pair plus 10% of the time. And it's composed of very little trash, right? So like the B30, nothing, ace highs, like what? Like that's like, let's say 20%. When they do the B90 here, we could see it's like maybe like 10%. So
And
yeah,
the frequency, like if you go to B30 and you see all the way up to the first yellowish, greenish type of, so there's two pair. What's the next one? Top pair? The
this
next
is two pair
color?
plus right here,
Yep. And if you go left to the next color,
top pair,
top pair, and then to the next color,
middle pair.
so middle pair. So look at, so top pair and middle and two pair plus comprise about 25% of their range. So 75% of their range is middle pair or worse.
That is a very good way to look at it. That is a really good way to look at it. So now we've got 75% of the range that we could easily attack on the B30. Yes, that is a very good way to look at it. Their
And
range
then-
is not composed of, it is not top of range, is essentially what conclusion we can come to. Now we can also take a lot of correlation from bet size, right? Because let's move this from, okay, so right here we're saying top pair plus two pair plus, arguably 26% of the range. All right, now let's look at B90. 26 versus 44%. That's significant, right?
Almost half. Yeah.
That is a clear sizing tell. So all of a sudden, if we're going to play exploitatively and invoke Nuffle, we can listen to the bet sizing, is what this is telling us. That's what I'm taking from it, at least. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Now over here, reactions, I think this is supposed to be. Oh, so this is reactions, bet fold, bet call, bet raise. So this is what a fish does when they're dunked into. But I don't know if that's that interesting, because we don't really care what fish do when they get dunked into, because we're not dunking into fish. But so anyway, you guys see where this is interesting. There's a lot of other ways to use this tool, which I haven't figured out. Where you could put in particular flops, where you can then understand on a particular spot what is the most profitable choice around raising, what are the most profitable bluffing lines against humans, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll pass it on to Josh unless there's anything else you guys want to look at here. Anything else you want me to click on?
Eh, I mean, there's lots of rabbit holes we could definitely dive into. But yeah,
Yeah.
if we get a little better handle on it, then we could be more efficient when we look at it.
Yeah, I'll try to understand what's going on here. I have the premium, so I have all the stuff, but I haven't really figured it out. Okay, Josh, you ready to show some hands?
Yeah, sure.
Josh, you
It
got
seems
hands.
like a
Brian
great
has.
tool. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential.
just get a handle on how to use it really. Like,
Yeah, I need to figure it out. It's not a simple interface to use.
I've got
Uh,
a few hands. They're not all like complicated ones, so we can rip through them quite quick. I reckon.
I don't get to fish.
And
Um, yeah, but you don't dog to fish with air, do you, Brian? You dog to fish with your topper range.
Yeah, I mean, in certain spots when, like, I'll donk turns often. Like, if I say I call with marginal made, turn is set against someone that C bet somewhat large, then I'm donking into them on the turn because they're not going to bet often as much as they need to. So, but they're going to call a lot.
Josh, one piece of advice I have for you here with using Zoom.
yeah,
So right now you're sharing your whole screen, and I think it might work more effectively for you if you stop sharing now and instead of sharing your whole screen, choose share application. And when you hit choose share application, it's going to give you a screen with all the applications that are available for you to share, and just share the one browser that you're using to
share window.
share window. That's it. Yeah.
Is that better?
And we keep, yeah, that might work better for you. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it helps.
Right. Should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just played this hand. So anyway,
Last night.
no, today. Today
Oh yeah,
it's 6 o'clock here. So,
it's 6 p.m. now. Yeah. All right, so we got
so
queens. We like queens.
this
I think
they
open
start
fold
limping
is
under the gun. Typical kind of 1-2 game. Cut off to 10. So did someone want to? Should I ask someone what they would do? Or
well. What do
I
you
mean, obviously,
when
Yeah, I
he
think
so
it's
we're
more
when he
interesting.
presenting
says
here, right?
I
yeah,
think it's more
you go
interesting if
through
what
your
you
thought
do is
process.
you when you get to your decision point, you go, guys, what do you think here? And then
All
we'll.
right, guys, what do you think here?
So I think this is
Well,
I don't. I think this is a three bet. Some people can argue whether I think this is called a three bet, and it's a very interesting spot because you get so these stack depths are accurate, right?
yeah.
So you're 200 bigs against a razor to the limp, and you're playing out of position. So we know in theory, when you're this deeper, your pre-flop raise sizes are bigger.
Question here is, does this guy always ISO? Like you say, normally people open to 6 or 7 in this game. Oh my God, I said it.
This
What?
guy's been opening all kinds of sizes. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so does he have a
sometimes
side?
they
Like,
limp.
is he splitting? If he's splitting range and opening, he's going to underfold to a lot of the time when they split range, but they open, they underfold. So we just want to go bigger and make them put more money in their pot with when they call you with hands that are way worse than queens. So, like,
So
it's
Okay.
a, I would take that as a reason to inflate my 3 bet size to get them to commit more
So
money pre-flop.
so let's go
how
through
big would
maybe
you
and
go
talk
then?
about what size is good here before we have
I
the
go to
reveal.
50.
I like I think I like $60 here maybe at this stack depth and and then we really want to play this head. What do you guys think? $60? Who else has got a number here?
No, I'd go bigger. We're deep
I was going to go
against
50.
the razor, so that also sort of tilts me towards a larger raise size than standard. But yeah, I'd go 80.
All right. I
I
can
was
see
thinking
that.
50, but normally I'm not the one that chooses the smallest size. But I can get behind 60. I think 80.
I'd go 50 if I was in position.
If he opened to 15, then I would definitely go to like 80. But when he goes to, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know the game. In my game, This is, I'm going to go to 50, 55, or 60 in that area because they're not going to fold enough.
Okay, that's bigger than me. Anyway, so I went 45. So maybe you think that I just thought 4.4, right? But
Yeah, I mean that's
I get
a
what you're saying
classic
about
online size. I think
In
the
theory, your
argument
size
for a
is right.
bigger size here is that you've got another person, you've got this guy who's somewhat interested in the pot, right?
yeah,
And then you've got another player in, and then you're playing out of position. So I think that
yeah.
pushes your number up.
Okay.
Now, if you go 60 or 80, I'll let you decide in your game, but I think you definitely want to go above just the classic around 4x. And also stacked up, and you mentioned that. So yeah, I frankly think a bigger size would be better here.
Yeah, I'd go 40 if I was in position, 40 or 50 in position, and then I'm adding that extra oomph to it because I'm out of position and he's deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 50 or 60 maybe, yeah. Would be better.
I think 60 plus.
Okay, so I went 45 and then the big blind did that.
Uh-oh.
So
Oh, God.
This
he
is a very
folds,
unpleasant
cutoff
spot.
folds, and now what do you want to do?
Do you have any info on
I
this player?
It's a sort of youngish Chinese girl. She's sort of, reasonably aggressive actually,
So, I mean, the first thought is we just hope it's ace king, right?
Well, you want a range, right? So if they're young and aggressive, ace king is certainly in the range. But are they going to be doing this with ace five suited and king 10 suited and hands that they should be cold fouring with on occasion? And if not, if they just flat out aren't going to be doing that stuff,
yeah. So these people, honestly, I don't think they ever do this with ace five suited.
they're,
They
and
just
I don't
don't.
think they should in live poker. Um,
But maybe I yeah. So what I don't know what you want to do here because they almost never do that with ace five suited.
So this is
But you
like
know.
she just committed more than a third of her stack.
yeah,
So the
she's not
money's going
folding.
in. Money's going in.
So
The question is, does she have enough ace king? Like we're basically thinking, what do we think her range is here that does this? We think a lot of her jacks probably just call. So we're pretty like we basically think this is queens, kings, aces, or ace king most of the time, at least in my player pool. That's what I'm gonna guess is most
yeah,
of
this
their
is top
range.
3% of range.
So we're
Yeah.
not doing great against that range. We chop with queens and we are ahead of ace king and we're way behind aces and kings. So, I mean, honestly, I would find the feeling sick to my stomach fold here until they prove to me that they can do this with hands other than aces, kings, queens.
I think folding here
Yeah.
is fine, but I'm going to go to. I'm not quite ready to fold. I think I want to. What I want to do is call, and on a non-ace or king flop, I'm all in.
so you're going to stop and go. So you'll donk the flop.
No, I don't think I. I think dunking would be fine, but I don't think I'm going to dunk. I think I would just. I think I would just check. I would just check on
Yeah,
a flop.
just call and then hope there's no ace or king on the flop, right?
Yeah,
And then
and then I would check all flops. I think she's going to c bet all the time, 80% of the time, and then I would just shove over her c bet.
yeah, I
So
think
you're,
that's actually a good plan. Like, yeah,
But I think Brian also is making a very intelligent exploit fold, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that against the right player.
I mean, yeah, it really depends on player. Like, there's certain players that I'm snapping off jamming here again when I know that. But even that player that's loose and aggressive does not cold four bet enough. Like those guys do not. Even the most
yeah,
aggressive players that I play against that are looser than everybody else just don't cold four enough. So it's like basically I'm
yes.
super condensing their range to top 3% of hands, and against that I'm not doing good.
So it's going to be aces, kings, queens, and ace king, and it's less likely to be queens because we got them. So
Yeah,
we're chopping or we're heavily dominated, right? So
yeah, a
Well,
lot of the
one way to look at
time.
this is let's not forget combinatorics, right? So you're getting the odds to call because against aces, kings, the remaining pair of queens, and then all combos of ace king, you're 60-40, right? So if you're 60-40, you're getting the odds to call, see a flop, and then put it in, and then hope he doesn't have the 8 combos of aces and kings.
Look
So
at
then the
it. Let me
flop
look
will
at it real
be
quick.
270 with her 180 behind.
All
So
combos, sorry.
We are 25 to 68 against if we give him a range. Oh well, wait, actually, let me add ace king offsuit.
You gotta have
Yeah,
that
you're right.
changes
You're right.
everything.
Yeah, you're right. So we're a little bit. It's because of the option for chop. We're 38 to 58. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess technically,
and there's
Yeah,
not
you're
enough
getting the
dead
odds to,
money. There's not enough dead money to make that. I don't think that's profitable. You need more
yeah.
money in the pot.
If she had way more behind, then you could try and play this with the say, hey, I'm good enough that I can fold an overpair in the situation when she's screaming at me that I have aces or kings. And, if I flop a set, I get to stack her aces and kings. I
yeah.
mean, it's kind of turning it into a set mine, but we don't have the odds to draw for a set with the implied odds for a
the
set yet.
problem is that it's not a set line because of the money behind, right?
Hmm.
So then you're kind of pot
That's what I mean.
committed if the flop comes out without an ace or king, you're just essentially pot committed.
Remember how I brought a hand where I three bet a guy that I said I am completely certain that his open raising range is like he has 3 sizes. He has his limp size, he has his 10 size, and he has his 20 size that he opens to. And his 20 size is jacks, queens, kings, and aces. And then I had ace king and I three bet him, and we decided that in that situation it makes no sense and we can just fold ace king when he opens to 20 because we know that his range is jacks, queens, kings, aces.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably people like that, sure.
And if we're in a spot where, I mean, even if this is an aggressive player, I mean, cold four bets are so underbluffed. How often do they? I mean, like a lot of the time with tens, they're just calling your four bet or your three bet. With jacks, they just call your three bet most of the time. So
Yeah,
with
but then yeah, you're right. I mean, we're likely our equity is likely behind. However, if we give her ace king, then it becomes, I think, a profitable call.
well, the other question too is how often do they just call ace king here too? Because I think a lot of players do. I see a
Sure.
lot of
I
just
mean, I
cold
think
calling three bets with ace king in these spots.
we can go back to talking about making an exploit fold, which is fine against the right player here.
Yeah, I mean, I like I know I kind of do a different strategy of like until you prove to me that you're good enough to do these things, or you prove to me that you have the balls to do this with hands other than aces, kings, queens, then I'm not messing around until I've seen that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, let's not forget that top 2% of hands versus top 2% of hands is a super rare thing to happen,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we're essentially top 3% of hands, and she's claiming top 3% of hands. All right, so we're ready for the reveal.
Okay, so I hear what you said, and I picked the worst option, I guess, which was just jam.
No,
And then
that's not the worst, but I mean, it's not terrible.
No, it's not the worst option. No.
uh,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
boo, boo.
yep, kings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah.
I mean,
It's a tough spot, man. I mean, Brian is Brian is right in a lot of ways that you can make an exploit fold here. But making an exploit fold, to me, I think you're just getting just enough equity here to
I mean they
call
never
the
have
cold
jacks, right?
four and see a flop. I could be
I mean,
wrong,
Yeah.
but
well,
I
so
think
what? We
that's
have
the case.
38. Can you go back to the odds on that?
You want me to show him?
No, yeah, I was gonna say I can do the math real quick for us. Calculator. So we got 187 in the pot, and we need to call what? 55, 85. So 85. I mean, plus 1. 87. That doesn't include, that includes right though.
The current pot is
Yeah,
187.
it's going to be
We've got to call.
270-ish.
85 divided by
We have to call
272
essentially 85.
by 5
So our equity
equals
requirement's 30%. And we're assuming we have 40%, 42% if we give her ace king.
we need 31. So yeah, we can call there.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna,
But
but we've got to give her ace king.
yes, that's what including ace king. If we remove ace king and we go to let me pull up my equity calculator. We are doing very poor. We have 16% equity if we give her queens, kings, aces.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to
So
give her ace king, or this is a, uh,
yeah, we are getting the odds to call if we include ace king.
so I'll just, yeah, I mean, otherwise it's a loser, but, um,
And I
so
would say a lot of the time I would not include ace king unless it was a short stacker. Like if this was the last of her money and she just jammed here, I would be like, okay, I would make the call. No
I
problem.
just, I just stole your share for a second, Josh, because I can, because I'm flexing. So yeah,
Well,
I mean, we're at 40% and we're being offered 30%. If we give her once, like, if we took away like if we took, now we're not gonna have it.
it's yeah.
Once we take away ace king off, it's a fold.
What if
So
you
we
take
need
off ace king suited?
And
then we have
well, yeah, we're gonna see
18%
like
equity.
18%.
No, I mean instead of ace king off.
Instead of
ace
ace king
king-
off. Oh, okay, I see your point. Sure.
Because that might.
Technically, they should jam ace king off more. You're
Now
right.
it's like,
Yeah, I mean,
now
Although
we're
a
there.
live
We're
player is
getting,
doing that is the question.
we have 38%
yeah,
equity and we're being offered 30%. This is a little bit fucked up because we're not thinking about future game enough and what's behind, as Mike mentioned. But
um,
I like call and then see a flop, but
I
I
mean, when
don't
you see
know if
that
that's the best
flop,
choice.
you just get to check down a lot of the time, depending on the player,
Which
and
is nice. I
you
mean,
lose.
you get 2 more cards to
I think if you're deeper
hit the
too,
Miracle Queen.
I was gonna say, well, even then in that situation, like if we're deeper, everything just gets better if we're deeper there for the call because you can make her fold kings in that situation.
Yeah,
This is
that's
by the
advanced
way,
class.
the like you the software you used, right? Does it take into account that we have queens for
Yeah,
the odds?
Yeah. So I'll show you. I'll show you what it's doing. So
This is a
so
funny
this
compare and contrast between like 1-2 live and 100 NL online because my mind says a good aggressive player is cold. They have way wider range than what we're like putting in here. So my first
exactly.
thought was like I'm jamming queens almost all the time. Like there's no
Yeah,
question.
Because
And Brian's
yeah,
like, no,
online.
Rob, we got to fold
Yeah,
this.
yeah, this is
yeah.
so
this game
if
should
we
only have
Mike, you
like
have not played
one
enough live
queen,
poker.
one pair of queens, and then it says it has six. Like
so so a good player. So what would so even if we give him, so this is probably like, you know, when you add ace five, we go up a little bit. And then another good cold four here would be king. I won't give him ace queen, and then all of a sudden, where do we go? Yeah, but we
no.
know this range isn't realistic, right?
But what I'm saying is it's saying that it's giving the under the gun player six combinations of queens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, so there's 6 combos of queens.
Right, but also for the opposing player. Does it account for that?
Oh, does it account for card removal?
Yeah,
It does account for
yeah, it
card removal on
accounts.
the
Okay.
back end. Yes,
Okay.
it does. So it doesn't show here, but it accounts for card removal on the back end.
All right.
So, yeah. So, yeah, sorry for stealing the share, Josh. I'll hand it back to you. Stop sharing. Um, so yeah, I don't mind Brian's exploit fault either, but I think you have to know your customer. How much have you played with this
Not much.
Okay.
I mean, she just sat down half an hour ago, kind of thing. And
It's a
she's
hard chord.
done.
It's a hard chord export. It's the kind of exploit fold that is hard to make, and I don't have it in my arsenal as I just talked about. Brian has it in his arsenal.
It's a, she's not like a maniac, So I think it's
Think
a
of it
pretty
as
sick.
the
It's a
fold
pretty
of a
awesome
lion.
fold. Yeah,
Fold of a lion. Yeah.
pretty
True.
awesome fold. If he
I
was
mean,
a maniac, of
there's
course, just jam. But
yeah, I mean, like I had a hand recently where I played against a guy that only I know I've played with him enough to know that the only hand that he opens and the only hand that he three bets is aces. There's one hand that he opens. So I just called with kings to try and hit a set and folded because I was like, he has one hand in his range here. That's like super exploitative, but it's because he's told me that he is not capable of doing it with anything else.
He told you?
No, I've watched him play. I've watched him play
Oh,
kings. I've
you've
watched him play
listened to his
queens. Like
play
I've been
and he's
sitting
told
there
you through
watching.
his play. Okay.
Yeah, I watched his play and said, okay, this guy has. I've watched him get dealt queens. I've watched him get dealt kings. I've been watched him get ace king. He has never three bet any of them. He just cold calls them or doesn't even open them. He'll limp queens, limp kings, all that stuff. But the only hand he always opens is aces and aces. That so like, how am I doing against aces? Not great. So with kings, so I just called, try to hit a set because I know I can stack him if I hit a set, and then I just fold.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I mean that's pure exploit play. So obviously a fold would have been better there. I couldn't get to it. I want to see a flop for the price of 30% requirement. Um, our chance of hitting set on flop is 13%, but I don't think we have enough behind there to really think set mining is profitable. We don't have implied odds to do it. But I think, I mean, this, for me, this is an argument about why we never look at Instagram while we're at the table. We really want to understand what people's ranges are.
yeah, it's just when they put in 130, they've got the nuts. That's just
I
all there
think
is
you
to
could
it, really.
profitably fold ace king there, even though. I
Oh
will
yeah.
say that I fold ace king there. And even though you've got 30% against her queens, for instance, I fold ace king there.
I mean, I would just look at it like
Yeah.
this: is that even the most aggressive 1-2 player doesn't cold four bet enough.
No.
So they're in that spot, we can really like hyper condense their range to top 3% of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really, I mean, it's a very rare occurrence, but yes, you're right.
So I've got some more hands. This is just not such a interesting hand, really, but we'll just go for it. Yeah. And then this guy is opening, a lot. Like nearly every orbit, every time it's checked to him, he opens pretty much. So I don't know. I thought I just call, and he checks. So would you bet this, guys, or would you just what?
I would go into a line of, I think maybe we do a bet small here, check the turn, bluff catch the river, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I would like to three bet pre-flop, but like, is this a bad player? When you play again, he's not a good player. I mean, if he's opening way too wide,
He's
he's
just sort
probably
of
not very good.
loose aggressive, but bad loose aggressive.
Yeah, I would like to three bet then and make sure I get heads up with him and outplay him. Um, I don't know. What do you classify? I would classify this hand as it's very in between. I would say that you can check here plenty. I think this is a two street hand, so you either are going bet here, check turn, bet river, or you're going check here and playing a two streets of value with this hand, I think.
Yeah,
But
and
you
I
also
would,
it's good for equity denial here if you bet. I mean, I would like to bet here and then check a lot of turns, I think.
yeah, and I would, again, since we don't know much other than that he's playing a lot of hands when it comes around to him. Like we don't know his aggression, like we don't know how aggressive he gets post flop, that sort of thing. I would probably default to betting, but if I had any sense that he will start stabbing once we feign weakness, I would also check at a pretty decent clip too.
Yeah, so I just thought if he has king queen or ace king or something, you might check raise this with the jack 10 flop, right? So I did just check it back, and then he checked again on this turn. So I'm pretty sure he's got like nothing
It's
much.
super capped. Super capped. So we just gotta go small to get value from this hand.
Yep.
Like I would go like $10 here probably.
Yeah, I went 10.
Yep. All right, he
Call.
calls. All right, now we get 7 on the river, and what does he do?
Check again.
Okay. All right, so his range is probably not a lot of Jack X. It goes check check. So
Yeah.
he's got some like 10x, so some misdraws that we're not going to get paid by. I mean, you know what significant, like you know significant sizing, right?
No, what's that?
Basically, like what, like there's the proper sizing you take, and then there's in live poker, there's significant sizes, like
Oh, right.
whether,
Is that like
yeah, like
don't value
here.
bet less than half pot?
So like if you go say you go 40 here, and that would be technically a big bet in poker world because it's a over pot size bet. But is it significant in the game? Like is $40 something people are like folding a lot to? Is it a big bet for the game, or is that still a small bet?
In terms of absolute
Yeah, like
size,
absolute size.
like it's $40 considered a lot to this person kind of thing.
Yes. 'Cause a lot of players look at it like, oh, it's just $10, not, oh, well, that's half pot.
Yeah, not that much, maybe. Not that much.
So I mean, I would go to the biggest absolute size. I think a 10 would call, but not including, like, I don't care what the pot is. I would think, okay, what's the biggest absolute size that a 10 will call? And in my game, that would be 40, I think, or 35.
Yeah, my size here would be basically 75% pot, like 30 to 40, I think is good. But you're
Okay,
definitely
so
betting for value.
I went too small, I guess. And I kind of
Well,
thought that maybe if I had gone bigger, it's kind of more likely to get called because it could more likely be a bluff, right? When it's just 15, it's like if he's got, he's never calling right with pocket, with a 6 or something,
Yeah, I think
He's
if when you go this size, they will call more often. They might look you up with a 6 or pocket eights or something like that. But at the same time, if they're ever going to call you with a 6 or pocket eights and you go 30, then this is a mistake. But yeah,
anyway, they folded, so that
yeah,
was just a
well,
kind of
he
small,
didn't have anything.
just a small part.
Yeah, he didn't have anything there.
I'll show that 100.
All
Oh,
right.
this part, this was at the start of the session, so more limping under the gun. That's like just how it goes here. And cool. So, what do you make it with your pocket nines?
What do you know about the UTG limper or anything?
It's this German guy. He, I don't know. I've only played with him once before, and he sort of min raised with pocket aces, in the small blind. So
Does he?
So he's
What
capped.
percentage of hands is he playing? Like, you think he's playing 50%
he's
of
playing a
hands,
lot.
or
Yeah, he's playing quite a lot, but he has just sat down, so I'm not quite sure. But after this, I mean, I saw he's playing a lot. But
okay. So he's
this
unknown.
late button or cutoff? I like to ISO.
Oh yeah, this is an ISO.
So what do you guys think about sizing before
I
we have the
would
reveal?
10
go
minimum.
20 minimum.
So what's the average when someone RFIs in this? I think it's not 10. What's the average RFI? Oh, you said it's different from table to table. If
it's
you
like
had to pick
7.
an average RFI,
the reasonable players do 7 or 6 or 8. I mean, a lot of people were doing 8 today. I mean, it varies all the time.
I gotcha.
Some people were doing 12 and then complaining that everyone was folding to them.
So let's think about Let's ask the group here. So before the reveal, I like 15 then. I think Brian, you're going 20?
I want to really get in position. So I'm gonna go 15 to 20. I was thinking, I don't know, our games obviously play differently. So I would go 20, 25, and I expect to still get called by under the gun.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but I want to
true.
disincentivize a call from the button because I really want to be
And
in
also
position,
anyone
heads
behind.
up. Yeah, I want to be heads up in position against that under the gun limping range.
Yeah, I think 15 or 20. Mike, what do you think?
Well,
Ryan?
in my yeah in online here, if this was a limp, this would be a 5 big blind ISO. So it'd be 10 if you were going by my standards at my tables. But because this is live and you guys know that they are going to go multi-way, even if you go to like 15, then I like 15.
Yeah, I
Oh,
15 or 20, I think is what we is our
Okay,
vote.
so all right. Well, I went 10. Like, and I don't know. I kind of like the small size just because I find if you make it 15, you start getting limp re-raised like all the time. You know, people start limping their aces, and then
Well,
you
let's
know that.
talk about that. So I
but you
so
said that this guy min raised aces,
let's
so we can assume that a lot of his range is going to be capped here at not super top of range.
well
So if he
let's
limp re-raises, then it's not top of range usually.
let's unpack that. So you think there's a correlation between ISO sizing and the frequency at which someone is going to
Okay,
re-raise
just
your
because
ISO?
I've seen a lot like under the gun will limp two, and then under the gun two will make it 15 or something, and then
Uh-huh.
it'll go call because it's a live game, and then this guy will jam, you know, and I
Okay.
don't know. I just think
I don't think that's no, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Josh, but I don't think that's I don't think that's connected to ISO size. I think that's
yeah,
connected to position. U2G is the most likely limp trap position.
yeah,
So I think what you're looking at there are people not reacting to the ISO sizing. I think it's configuration. I think it's that it's UTG, which we know is the most common limp trap spot.
yeah. And I also
You
like 10 just because I get what you're saying. I heard you. Yeah, the position is very important. The other reason I like 10 is just I'm in position so I can keep the stacks deep, right? And then that makes it easier to maneuver. And it
There,
also keeps them in with their shit, you know, like it just,
that's an
you know,
argument. Now let's just, I mean, I think I see your argument, but some people feel different about this. I think, you want to do, I think you want to make the choices and make the sizings pre-flop that are going to result at the highest frequency in a heads up pot post. It's you're going to be in position a lot here, great, but playing multi-way is infinitely more complex than playing heads up, especially with these middle pairs. I think you really want to incentivize going heads up.
okay.
That is
Just,
my argument, and I'm sticking with it.
And that's a good argument. And like comparing and contrasting again to like where I play in the 100 NL streets, the mean streets of 100 NL versus here. This is exactly what I would do. I would make it 5, and you wouldn't get very many calls behind. But in live poker, which we've seen from Brian's hands, Larry's hands, and to some extent Scotty's hands at the higher stakes, you're going to get 4 calls now. Whereas if you go 15, you're going to be much more likely to be heads up versus one of these limpers.
All right, I'm going to steal the share again and just go
yeah.
through go through just an exercise here in quick and dirty in the um in the equity calculator. All right, so let's assume this is our ISO range in middle pairs, jacks through eights. All right.
I
Let's
can't,
just
I can't see your screen. Are you
Oh,
still in it?
I see it.
And if you go to top left or the top of your screen, I think you can select it. There's multiple screens that I can see at the same time.
you can see multiple screens right now. Oops.
Yeah,
I
there's
see.
All right,
like
I'm just going to stop sharing then. Hold on, stop share. And then I'm going to share. Oh, hold on. So no one is
the
sharing now, right?
No one is
yeah.
sharing.
Uh,
All right, then I'm going to just share my screen, my application window. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Quick exercise. And this is me. Essentially I'm giving you an argument as to why you want to use a bigger size preflop in order at a higher frequency to take this heads up. All right, so these are our middle pairs that we're ISOing. All right, this is our equity against, and this is the range I'm giving them for their limp to call range, right? I mean, whatever, we could change this how we want, but I think limp call
Yeah, that
range
looks right.
is going to look something like this. So when we run this, you're 31 to 68. All right. Pre-flop, you're rocking and rolling. You're in really good shape. All right, now let's take you multi-way. Let's take another limb caller. All right, you've lost what? 20% equity. 20% equity, and it's gone to both of these guys equally. All right, let's take it one more step. Now you've gone to 40% equity. Essentially each time we add a limb caller or someone who calls after, you're losing 10% equity. And then that's not without even talking about the complexity of understanding and reacting to ranges of multiple players. So that's my argument as to why you want to ISO larger preflop in order that there are more occurrences when you're playing heads up post flop. You want to invest pre to play heads up post. And that is the end of my TED Talk. Thank you for coming.
Okay.
But moving on, either way. Let's take a look. All right,
Okay.
so you
So
ISO to 10. Get two callers, at least we're in position.
that's typical. Yeah.
All right. Check,
Pretty good
check.
flop.
Yeah.
How much you bet here?
Well, obviously we're betting. This would be a spot where Scotty would love to talk about reverse linear. Is that we're gonna bet more often here with pocket nines. We're
We're
multi-way,
incentivized to
so
bet larger here and on more often to
yep.
deny
So
equity to their overcards.
I think here I'm still gonna do, I mean, I'm gonna go slightly bigger, but still a size that gets them to raise off a lot of their strong shit. A large portion of their limp calling range is small to middling pocket pairs. So we want them to raise all those off now. And then they have suited aces that can continue to a decently bigger size. So yeah, I'm gonna go like 20.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
what I thought. No.
yep,
I
I
like
like
20.
it.
Good sizing, good sizing.
Okay, and then we get two calls. That's not ideal. Okay, so we get four. All right. I see no reason to slow down here. So what are their ranges that call? They have flush draws, 7x, 6x. I don't think there's a ton of 4x that calls multi-way here, but it's still there.
Ask the
They have,
question, what do they not have?
they don't have sets, they don't have two pairs.
Right.
Um,
And probably not an overpair.
and unlikely to have overpairs. So we're ahead here often, and we have a lot of, I would say, inelastic hands that we can go pretty big with. So multi-way, I'm not going to go quite as big as an over bet, but I think I'm going to go to 75 here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 75 here, trying because they have 7x, pair plus straight draws. All those hands are going to be inelastic right now. So yeah,
I
I'll
like
go.
that sizing. I would choose to go smaller because you're against two ranges.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I would go smaller here. I was actually thinking, and I would really also like someone to check raise. Any check raise here is super fucking linear.
Hmm.
I
Well,
want to give a
that's the
size which is good.
question. Do you want to attack that or not?
I like 40, and I'm gonna check back most. I'm a lot linear than Brian. I'm gonna check back most river.
I'm definitely not going to do that. If I go 40 and I don't get check raise, I'm going to attack 7x on the river a lot.
Yeah, I'm a little bit much more wary of two ranges, but I think I would go 40 here.
So
I'm
what do
much
we look at
smaller than
it?
Brian here. I'm not
What do we
going
look at
bolder.
like two spots here? I would look at it like two sizes. We can go small, still trying to get them to raise off their fours, and then we could go big and just try to attack their inelastic hands.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm wary of two ranges, and you're more comfortable value betting into two ranges, which is fine. It's just we have we have two different approaches here. One is the young brash pro, and the other is the LMC coffee drinker.
I went
Okay, so
50.
just 50.
So,
All right, I like it.
in between both of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, normally I hate in between sizes, but that's not terrible. I think instead of going 40, you go 50, you still give them the chance to raise off.
Do not
Um,
donk. Do not donk.
Yeah,
okay, what
right.
does he do? Now what happens?
Oh yeah, he checks.
Okay, so we attack 7x, right? And 7x is not going to
I'm
call
not
that.
comfortable betting here, but I totally get that Brian is, and it probably is the right thing to just thin value bet here. Brian, would you argue this is a thin value bet, or would you argue this is a pure value?
I mean, I think that it's a thin value bet, but I think that you're in a spot where like I mean, you're going to get value and every once in a while. Every once in a while, their flush draw just hit a jack, which sucks. But I think you're up against 7x enough,
Or
and
eights?
yeah, and eights. I think eights is less likely, but I think you're up against 7x. I mean, yeah, I guess you
So
could argue that it's maybe a little thin because we're really only targeting like two hands, which are 7x and 6x, and then all their other stuff that's just not going to call anything. So I think it's a
Nope.
good spot to go small and go.
Yeah, thin value is the right choice, but
I think I'm going 50 here
I think you,
again.
I
So
think,
here's the issue a little bit with stack sizes. If you go thin value, right? If we break the Matt Affleck rule and we go less than 50% pot here,
Hmm.
which is what, 100? So if we want to break the Matt Affleck rule and hope to get called by a seven or pocket eights, yeah, it's I think you can do that versus most population because they won't raise you enough.
Yeah, the check raises are under bluffed on the river, so you can very easily fold to a check raise here. But you can also get called by tons of worse hands. I mean, you have A7, A6, you have 6-7 is even worse now. We think that he doesn't have a lot of 6-7 here because he didn't check races on the flop, but they do slow play a little bit enough to the point where they do have some 6-7. Um, I think there's enough. Like what he gets here with flush draws 7x. So I mean, I don't hate a check back either, but I think that we still want to target some 7x here.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot to go for that smaller in position reopen bet on the river.
Yeah, I mean, when you're just never getting check raised as a bluff, it doesn't put you in a hard spot because you just get to easily fold all the time. And it sucks, but like you get caught. I think you get called enough by 7x here that it is worth it. I would go for a small bet. Do you check back, Josh, or did you bet?
I did check it back. I did check it back because I just thought there's a lot of I imagine there's some flush draws with a jack in it that just hit a jack. Was what I was thinking, and so I checked it
Okay.
back, and that he showed that, So,
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have got called anyways, but
so he didn't. But look, he didn't check raise the flop. Didn't check raise the turn. I mean, they don't do that very often, you know, unless they've just got the nuts, you know. I mean, that would have been the turn check raise would have been an all right play for him, but
that's kind of
yeah.
like where I like to go with the bigger size on the turn, is because I think there's enough hands. Like I think that a lot of their 4x even folds out when you see bet that you can get, you know, you can get some thick value from their draws there on their turn.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Brian is less wary of monsters under the bed than I am, which is probably a better way to play.
just
I'm
gotta
perhaps
trust that you can fold.
a little bit too what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit too timid in multi-way pots against
Yeah.
two ranges. There was an old guy who used to come in here named Joey, and he used to say, your one pair ain't good enough multi-way.
Correction.
When you're
You're
told,
That's only when two other people are interested.
Oh, correct. I am duly corrected.
Yeah, when it's multi-way, you bet and you get one caller. You can go on. It's only obviously if it goes bet and raise, your one pair is almost definitely dead. When it goes bet and call, your one pair is probably not going to be good by the river.
How about when it goes bet, call, call?
Right, that's what I mean. When it's bet,
That's
and
what we
somebody
had
else
here. We
calls.
had bet, call, call on
Oh, you
on
did?
flop.
Okay, well then, yeah,
So
got to be careful then.
that's what we're working with.
You got it. Then I'm with you.
All right, next one. Oh yeah, here we are. So, what are you guys calling this, or what? What are you doing
right
here?
through
How
there.
deep are you? I'm folding at this depth.
Yeah,
Oh
generally a
yeah, no,
fold,
too
but
shallow. Yeah, never mind. It was a bad play. I'm dead and deep. I'm three betting the shit out of it.
Normally, I would free bet this, but I did just call, right? Got this flop, and it goes check. Oh yeah, four people in the pot. Check, check, and bet 10. So, what would you do here?
Fold now. You
Yeah.
didn't get in this multi-way pot to play with one pair.
Yeah,
That's what you call
especially not without the backdoor.
Yeah. You got backdoor seven.
mean backdoor 7. I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. It's always a shot. Yeah.
But you have
I
a
just
2-pair draw and a trips draw.
Exactly. Fold.
backdoor quads. Yeah.
Right.
I just thought. So when the initial raiser didn't see bet, like they don't have anything really. They don't have a king or.
hmm
So I thought this guy, like, you know, he didn't feel strong. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway.
Yeah,
So
if I had
I
six
raised
high
it
can
of
up.
clubs
you
or
can look at the
spades, I would
size, and
raise.
I might not
Yeah, it
fold
would be
here
bad.
if you have a fold tell on the next two players. Like if you see that they're gonna fold, then I might call here to then punt to try and steal the pot later on a later street.
I like this if you had the clubs or spade version.
Yeah, that would be better, right?
Yeah, you want the back door at least.
Hope it works. Let's see what happens.
Anyway, it worked.
Nice.
It worked.
Yay.
That was great.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, this sound in the big blind. Oh yeah, 8. They're all raising to 8 on the now. Yeah, which is a bit too big. But anyway, got to call this, right? Like, you know, I mean,
Yeah, I like a call
yeah.
here.
So
Yeah.
Hey,
so pretty good flop.
look at that sweet baby there. We're gonna check, right?
Check.
That's
That's
12,
12.
and
And
then we're gonna
this
raise.
guy is this guy c bets like all the time, but anyway, yeah.
So he just took a big bet in. Oh Christ!
We're not
Oh
check raising.
God.
Now we're not
Yeah,
check.
now I'm not check
No,
raising.
do not check raise. But we're calling.
There's no
Yeah, we
reason
just
to
call.
raise, right? Because we're
No.
getting great odds to draw, right? So
Yeah, I mean the one way is this is important in PLO. If we're drawing to non-nutted a non-nutted equity, we hate being multi-way. However, when we're drawing to nutted equity, we really like being multi-way.
Yeah.
And you have more cards that can improve your hand than just heart.
And you are drawing to nutted equity against 3 people. This is a good spot.
The last thing you want to get is 6, 7 of hearts to fold.
Yeah.
Precisely. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we call ace.
Gets more interesting.
Okay, well, we didn't play this hand to lose all of our money with an ace.
Yep.
We check. And now that's 35.
So now he down bets.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
God. All right.
Right.
So now there's
So
a
what-
question called direct odds and implied odds, right? So
But there's another question there. We're not
Mhm.
closing the action. We do not
Mhm.
know that we don't know whether we're paying 80.
yeah, that's valid. You're totally right. So
Right. Let's see. One
so
third.
it's like so you'd have to, so it's you're being offered 30% pot odds in a pot which could you might have to throw your $80. This is a really tough spot, and there's not that much money behind the aggressor. And you got an ace. This is a really tough spot. I don't think shoving is the right choice. And I'm
No,
not,
it's not.
and I'm not, I can't bring
We
myself
don't
to
have
fold.
fold equity. We don't have
No.
fold equity, so jamming's not an option.
This
The
is a
one thing
horrible
that's
spot.
actually good though is that if we call and he reopens, that's not good. But then do we have odds to draw? Cause what? So we
Getting
go
close.
80. Cause yeah, cause we don't want to jam and only get the 150 behind, but we don't want to force out 30 that guy because we're not doing good against the guy that just raised.
There are implied odds against the initial raiser.
Exactly. So what are our odds here? Where he bet
We're being offered 30%.
okay, and we have 9 times. Oh, 2. We can hit a 10, or no, we can't hit anything there in that front either.
There's another issue that there's probably some hearts in these 2 ranges.
Um, yeah, probably. So we got.
I can't bring myself
I
to
don't think we
fold.
have odds to
Can't
call.
be- we don't think it's likely that the guy with 180 back, with 150 back, necessarily has hearts, because we think that he has now 2 pair and straights. That's
Yeah,
what
he's 2 pair plus.
yeah, that's what we think his range is, and his 2 pairs don't need hearts, and the most likely 2 pair that has a heart would be ace jack, ace queen with the ace of hearts. We have the ace of hearts, so less likely.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is this live or online?
Live.
Live. In that case, there's one thing at a minimum you should do: look left.
Yeah.
Good point. So what do you remember what our big stack was looking like?
Yeah, he was looking rather confident. You know,
Jesus.
and
If he shoves, it's a nightmare.
Well, we aren't getting the odds to draw
Yeah, let's fold.
unless he shoves.
Do we
If he
fucking
shoves-
fold here?
Well,
We can fold here.
it's not bad to fold.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different if it went 80 call, where we knew our ace wasn't good, but we knew it cost us 80.
Well, are you talking about a situation where we're closing the action?
Yes.
Yeah.
If we're closing the action, we can call here. If we're not, and you look at the initial raiser, and you do not feel you have this is not re-raised tell. This is the fold of a lion.
I don't.
So what you're saying is what you're saying is if the fold is the most profitable choice.
I think so. I
Well,
hate
we
it.
need 29% to call. We don't have 29%. I mean, it really comes down to like what happens, and what happens the question is like how many of the under the gun players' hands are we still going to get a lot of money from on the river when we hit?
Right.
Not,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
not
only
that many.
his flush draws, which then removes a ton of our outs as
I'm
well.
coming around once you add the component that we're out of position here, I'm coming around to a fold.
Yeah. I hate
Because
it.
yeah, I mean, we have less outs against his hands that we're actually going to get paid against. That means we have less hand outs
I
if we're
mean,
going to
our
get
hand, I
paid.
mean, if the heart comes, it's just obvious what we're playing for here.
Yeah.
We'd have to donk. We have to donk shove on the heart, which is going to happen 18%. Well, arguably, probably like less than that because there's probably some heart components here. Uh-oh. Josh, you still there?
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to see what happened?
Yeah,
Your
but
hand it's green. We can't see it now.
your
If you want to
screen
send
went
the link again,
blank.
we can do that.
Oh shit.
There
It's
we go.
back.
We're back.
It's
Yeah.
back.
You're stupid.
Yeah, send the link and we'll open it.
There we go.
Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
never
You
mind.
got it?
Quick, before it goes
Okay,
blank.
so
You,
yeah, I think there's no clear answer here. So you're in a very tough spot.
I think that we fold because we don't get paid by his anything other than his flush draws, and his flush draws. He People don't play their flush draws aggressively, so we can already discount a lot of that we're not going to get paid against when we hit. And then on top of that, if he is playing a flush draw aggressively, we have two less outs to hit our flush draw.
Yeah, so
So
the
that breaks
argument
our
comes
equity
down
even
to
lower.
is that they don't have any hearts. We're 18% to hit. We're being offered 30%. And then when you add the additional components of we're out of position, we're not going to fully realize. And then you add the uh component that UTG could just shove. Yeah, it's probably a profitable fold.
Yep.
yeah, I
And then
folded.
Nice
one
fold. Good
good one
fold.
fold. And then one final thing about the hand.
Jam.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. You're a genius. You're a fucking genius. Which is imagine that the river is not a heart, but it is an ace or a four.
Oh,
Now,
no.
you and you know, you should probably fold to a bet, but can you? Will you?
I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, so there's another way to lose more money. All right.
If we're
Great.
going to do anything, we have to jam, right? I mean, I think that it's pretty
No,
rough. And
no, you don't have to jam because you probably don't have fold equity against the 150. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's see. Does the 150 call this jam?
yeah,
King
they
10
call.
straight. Yep.
he had the straight.
So,
And we never know if
yeah.
player four
Player
had.
four didn't show.
No, they just mucked, but I guess they had two ace queen or two pair or something. You know,
Yeah.
Set maybe.
had-
Yeah.
they
It
might have had pocket eights. Yeah,
That's a very tough spot. It took me a lot longer than I wished to get to a fold. I think Scotty got there a lot faster than me.
I got there a lot faster in conversation, not in game.
Yeah. In game,
I
it's going to
fuck
be
this
tough.
up in game all the time.
yeah.
Fold of a lion, sir. Fold of a
Good fold.
lion.
Okay. So, so what? Like, I was interested by that chart, the GTO wizard chart with the big raise openings. You know, and people have to just free bet or fold. But anyway, so I'm opening to 7 at this game. But yeah.
Great.
And free bet straight away, right?
Mhm.
So you're playing 200 bigs deep against
Ooh.
this guy right now, right? This is a
Yeah,
really
I've
bad
got
situation.
400 and he's got more than me. This guy also has more than me.
This is a really tough situation, and I don't think call is your best option now.
I don't even like to 4-bet.
Yeah, but I think you have to 4-bet when you've got button in. Now the option of flatting. I would flat here a lot if this was heads up, but now
Yeah.
with the additional player, he has now taken away your option to flat.
Yeah.
I think you now have a 4-bet fold. Someone disagree with me,
Okay.
but I think you now have 4-bet fold.
I think with ace king suited, I could maybe get behind a call. I don't know. It's a weird spot. I mean, what do we know about the player that three bet you?
2.7. So we're gonna go
This is the King 10 straight guy from the previous hand. So.
50.
But like, is he three betting a lot, or is he not three betting very
No,
much?
they're not. They're not free betting or
I think
Ah,
I'm going to 75 here, and I'm folding to a shove.
I
yep.
think I'm
I don't.
flat out pitching it.
Yeah, I was about to say I might just fold here because
uh,
if they're under three betting, especially EP versus EP, like that's not. I don't know if they know anything about positional configuration,
This,
but in their brain, they just three bet with one, two, three, four, five,
you
with
think
six
a
players
fold
acting
here
on it.
is better than a call?
They're under
Yeah,
they're
you're out of
under three
position.
betting from they're under three betting, you're out of position, you're not suited. You also they underfold two four bets. So if they're not going to fold, tens, jacks, all that stuff, then I don't think we want to three bet. If they're not going to fold, I mean, maybe I don't know if they're
I
going to
can get
three
behind
bet.
not four betting here, but I can't necessarily think that I can't get behind thinking fold is better than call
I will
here.
tell you if they had 100 big blinds effective and it got this action
Yeah.
and the razor was competent, was good, I would jam.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm folding.
I mean,
So
okay.
right
he's
now
under three betting.
he's got, so if when we have ace king, he's got 12. When we do not have ace king, he has 12 combos of aces and kings. When we have ace king, he's got 6 combos of aces and kings. Let's not forget the removal effects, the wonderful removal effects of our hand.
Right. So let's simplify things tremendously and say that he has exactly queens. Just for a second. He has exactly queens. The caller, how many of the hands that the caller has have an ace in it?
A decent bit of suited
Right.
aces, we would
Right.
think. We have
So your little
middling pocket pairs.
yeah. So just saying that our usual thing that ace king against queens is a coin flip, which it's not. Ace king is taking
No.
the end of it, is even worse when someone has when an ace is gone and an ace is the most likely card to be in his range. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't have pair of jacks. I'm just saying that if you look at all the hands that he flats with,
What about
what,
implied odd hands? What about like
no, they're there. They're there. I'm just saying that if you look at the one card that is the most common in all of them, it's not more than 50% of them, but the most common card in his entire range is an ace.
okay?
Right. That's just a thing. The other thing is, now let's argue the other way. The button is massively capped.
He is massively capped.
And we have ace king. So we can three bet big. I mean, we can four bet big. That's another argument. And these arguments compete with each other.
All right, let's go through here
I'm on four
and talk about let's talk about order of options. We have only 3 options here. We have four bet, call, or fold. And
Yeah,
let's put
but
them
you
in.
gotta
Let's
add
each,
a sub. You gotta add a sub option when you four bet. You have to have a size and then think about post flop realization.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. But let's just start with the simplification here. Some of us maybe put those in order of preference. My order of preference is four bet, call, fold. That's my. And what about everybody else here? Because I'm quite curious.
And that's why I go to, if it was 100 big blinds deep, I am four betting and it's jam. And in this case, we're 200 big blinds deep. I don't like a four bet to like 80 or 100 or something, and then getting to a flop out of position and not knowing what to do.
So
That's why I'm folding.
what's your order of
Well, we
preference?
can trust that we know how to play well enough out of position. But they're gonna underfold to four bets, so and they're under three betting and under folding to four bets.
But the four bet is it's not about generating folds as much from the $1,000 stack person. It's from generating folds from button and removing his equity.
I mean, in
What
theory,
do we
this
think
might be a
happens
jam. If
when
you four bet
yeah,
it, the jam may be what you need to do. But I
ugh,
just,
don't want to do that?
yeah, not to,
No.
you're under the
No,
gun versus under the gun plus one. It's
I
not
don't.
So
I
like
what if
you're
think
we go?
button cutoff.
I
jam
think
here is not practically profitable, and nor is it theoretically profitable.
I bet if we looked at it, I bet it would be in there.
Really? Well, we don't know. There's no flats behind a free bet in theory.
Okay, so I built out ranges for what I think this looks like. And with the ranges that I gave everyone, we have 28%
Why don't you
equity.
share your screen, sir? Would you stop sharing for a second, Josh?
Okay. Okay, so these are the ranges that I said our hand, and then I give the three better this range. Do we want to widen this or do we want to keep this where it's at?
So
I think from EP it's an under, I think they under three bet, especially. I think a lot of these middling types of hands just end up calling a lot. So I think that I think even tens may just call a lot here.
do you think it's possible for this player, Josh, to have king queen suited? Yes.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, I mean, it's possible.
All right, I think that's the only change I would make.
I think this is a pretty fair range.
Yeah.
This is a fair
This
range,
is
but I have
the-
one question. I have one question. Is he an ace? Because it's going to make a difference in it. Is he an ace five suited player?
I don't think he would play ace five suited, but he
Right.
would play king queen
Okay,
suited like
great,
this. You know,
right. All right, let's move to the next range. Good.
This is the other range I gave him was Broadway's. I
This
think
is-
that
this
we
is-
can probably remove maybe this. I don't know.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of the time they will end up cold calling with these two hands. There's a lot of players that will cold call ace king.
Absolutely.
And then we have middling pairs. I mean, we could even go maybe down to fours as well. Do we want to give them any of this?
I'd
Yeah,
give him
do we-
tens.
Tens and jacks.
Tens,
Uh,
tens and jacks?
Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah.
Okay. You think queens?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've seen it.
Yeah, you're right.
sure.
I was
All
gonna
right,
say
all
maybe
right, so
I
then-
didn't even.
Yeah.
So let me stop and then re-simulate. We have 27 to 33 to 25. I mean, we're almost at the same equity as this range here of the cold caller.
All right, so now, remove. Okay, so we right now are at like. Can you show the equities again?
Hmm.
So we're not doing well against villain one. What's villain one's three bet range here?
This is what I gave him, and we could
All right.
probably even remove tens.
No, this is good. And then let's let's go up, and then we can see we're in there. We're getting odds to call, but we don't really. And my argument is that we want to remove villain two. Now take out villain two. Remove him. Delete him.
Go villain two.
Okay, now let's see where that equity goes. So who picks up that equity? We pick up that equity. See what
That's
happened
true.
here? See?
Yeah.
So that is, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we want to strongly consider 4bet as a strong option. That
How
is the end of my
often-
TED talk.
So I will say that my only thing that you're right, obviously, because we did pick up the equity. But when it comes to this situation we're in right now, I get into this situation plenty of times where I see the situation often where this player, the villain two, villain two, as soon as villain one calls that four bet, they're like, oh, I'm priced in. I call.
Sure, that's going to happen sometimes, but
It happens a lot.
and
lot
then
of times.
it's a fucking nightmare. I agree.
Yeah.
But
Sitting there.
Hold on one second.
but I think that okay, yeah, you're right. Sometimes he's going to flat behind. There's no question that's going to happen. I still think 4bet is the right choice here.
I'm
And by
not
the way,
completely against it.
in this
but I
tool,
think-
can you add
yeah.
partial ranges? Like, can you add like half ace king suited, half combos of like queens or something?
I
like-
don't
This
think
hand,
so.
Okay,
I
never mind.
do not think so.
last
Um,
each that I've just stepped out of because it's time to go to calls. I mean,
So,
Going.
I like a 4bet here. I see your point that you don't.
No problem.
I see your point that
The
I
second
don't
one,
hate the four bet. Don't get me wrong.
So we're very committed to.
Larry, are
I
you
just
host? Can you mute Scotty?
Yeah. So I don't
So
hate the four bet. I'm
what
just
what
basically when we four bet, we're kind of I honestly think that a lot of the time our best bet is that it gets taken down and it's unlikely that it gets taken down in that spot. Because what is he they're gonna call they're under three betting, so we already have a very strong range. I mean, even I honestly would say that we can remove that stuff a lot of the time.
all
Yeah,
right.
This
So then,
is
what do you?
generally what we're facing.
So what do you think? What do you think? So the order of options are your options are four bet, fold, or call. What put those in order.
I think I think fold is barely better than four bet, and then I think four bet is the next best option, and calling seems awful.
Mike, what do you think?
I just put it in chat. Same thing. Fold greater than four bet, greater than call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that depending on like the read I have on player on villain one is going to be highly dependent on whether I four bet or not. Like if I think like if I've seen him three bet often tonight, which he said he has not been, then I would be much more willing to four bet. Like I mean, that's the way I'm going to play is just exploitatively that okay, this guy's under three betting, so I'm going to under four bet his three bets, especially early versus early.
So you know what we really want to do here. So you guys know Lewis, who comes in here on occasion.
Hmm.
Does anybody know Lewis outside of the Zoom?
Like Lewis, the tournament guy, or
Yeah, Lewis, who
yeah,
comes
yeah.
here, started to play
No, not
cash.
really. Not
Lewis
really.
Powell.
Oh,
Do you
that's
know
him?
Lewis outside of here?
No, I just know him from poker coaching.
Do you have Discord connection for him?
Oh yeah, I can ask him. Yeah, I've got him.
What we really want to do there to understand what to happen is we really want to run these ranges in HRC.
He's not the one that runs the study group first
No,
tournament.
No, that's
he's
Oh,
Louis.
got
That's Louis.
Luis, yeah.
he's got the Hold'em resources tool.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll
What
send
we
him.
really
I'll
want to
send him.
do is we want to plug those ranges into Hold'em resources calculator with Josh's rake structure and stack depth and see what it wants to do free.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
either way, let's look at the hand. Let's get past this.
All right.
Look at the hand. I
All
think
right.
that
And we
I
beat
think
this
four
one to
bet's not.
death.
Yeah, I feel like four bet's not bad. I just would prefer. I think that exploitatively you can fold here a decent bit.
All right. Hey, do me a favor. Can you put the link to that hand in chat, Josh?
And then
Yeah.
copy that for me, Larry. I can send it to Lewis because I'm driving, so I can't.
Yeah, that's
get it
fine.
right now.
I'll send it to you.
And then my answer on this one, on the fold four bet one, is I don't know. It's between fold and four bet as the first one. Then the one thing I do know is if I four bet, it's not going to be to the smaller size. It's going to be, a four bet. It's going to be a 2.7 at least, plus the dead money, probably a 3 plus the dead money. So it's going to be that size, and then I'm going to fold to a jam.
I would just say that the main thing that gets to the conclusion is that he's under three betting.
Yeah, I think you have a good
So I
point.
don't really want to four bet into that range.
Josh, what's your rake structure? Is it 10%, 10 pound camp?
It's 5% capped at £11.
5%, 11 quid cap. Okay. And hey, to make this a team effort, and then we'll stop beating the dead horse. Brian, can you build out the ranges you think are involved here? Or even better, Josh, if you want to build out the ranges and then you can DM them to me.
Do you want me to do the ones that I already had, or Josh, do you think those are reasonable ranges, or do you want
I think
to
they're
make them
reasonable.
yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll try to build out what the computer says. Just out of curiosity.
How about that pre-flop desktop? I can make that, can I?
You can show a range. It's post-flop desktop, but it
Oh,
doesn't,
post-flop, but I can build a range and then do, oh, but it's post-flop. Yeah,
it
never
doesn't
mind.
do pre-flop.
Shit.
You need Hold'em resources calculator.
So I'll give them ace queen offsuit and king queen suited and king ace queen suited. I'll give the three
Yeah.
better that range.
All
Even though
right,
I think
Josh,
even that's questionable.
Thank you for bringing interesting hands today. So, okay, so what we'll let you go to the next step.
Okay, so yeah, I just called. I thought really didn't want to fold ace king pre, but I get like
You get our
evening on the
arguments.
I get all your arguments. I think you're 100% right. I get that flop, and he just bets 35. I don't know what the hell he had. I guess he had queens or something, you know. But
Yeah, we totally missed. And what's the button do?
totally fold. And you want to continue against this? I mean, I
So you
just
hit
fold
35 into what was it, 80? 35 into 75?
into 70. Yeah.
Do I want to continue? Unfortunately, I do want to continue.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I know,
I'm going
right?
to see
It's
if I
like
can steal this. Well, that's what I'm going to plan is to try and steal here. I mean,
This is a
it
tough
just
range
or
to steal
hit.
against,
It's
but okay.
true. That's the problem. I mean,
it'd be a pretty sick raise, right? Like you could have pocket jacks, pocket sevens,
I mean, you could
and then
argue I got blockers. He's got half as many aces and kings,
we got to draw to
yeah,
the best
but
top
he's
pair,
not
right?
folding queens.
that's
He's
the
not folding
problem.
queens ever. Yeah.
Yeah, now that I
So
think about it, I don't think I actually want to try and steal here because that just means I'm trying to hit my hand if I'm trying to steal. I mean, I guess maybe a flush, if a flush comes in, I can try and steal. I mean, we are deep. We're not that
You're a
deep
better
at this
player than
point.
me. You're more aggressive. I just let this go and just move
No,
on.
I don't. I
yeah,
don't
I
hate
think
the
that's
let
fine.
go of it. I don't hate letting go of it either. That's not a.
I think folding is fine. I nothing wrong with folding.
Yeah,
I
I,
fold.
I don't hate that either. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, it's. I do also say that I don't try to make players fold over pairs. So that is also a heuristic or whatever that I try to stick by. Is that when I'm pretty confident they have an overpair, I'm not going to try and make them fold that a lot of the time,
Yeah.
unless I have a really good opportunity to.
We
Okay,
want
more
to leave.
limping. You
Three
all right?
Sorry,
betting.
go ahead. So you got yeah. This is a pure ISO.
I'm raising my bet ISO. Yep.
I I went bigger here. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, to 12. And
That's why.
I'm surprised we're
This
not four ways, but you know.
Yeah, my only thing is like I know you said earlier that you feel like when people limp raise more often on the ISO, I think that like you just benefit so much from getting heads up in position. I mean, if you think that you have an edge against these players, then you should really want to be heads up in position against them because
Hey,
like
Brian, hold on. Sorry. Hold on one second. Hey, Lewis. Sorry, Brian. Hey,
you're good.
Lewis, you got a second?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, man. So we've got a very interesting hand. I don't think you saw it, but we had a very interesting with your fellow countryman Josh here with Ace King Pre. And
I can send it in the Discord
and
thing.
if you don't mind us giving you some homework, we'd love to see what HRC thinks about this spot pre, if you wouldn't mind running it and
How deep
showing
is
it at a later
it?
date.
How deep is it?
I guess, can you pull up the hand
So
again? I think
200 big
it's
blinds.
about 200 effective.
Okay, I got some 200 ranges, but I mean it's more online rake structure, but it'll be similar, I
Well,
guess.
you can input any rig structure you want in HRC, right?
Yeah.
So we'll um
I put the
if
ranges in the cash game group like right
this is me
on the
this is my name on um Discord. I put it into chat. If you friend me on Discord, I'll send you the details with the rake, the hand pre, and the what we think the ranges are. We're just curious about what the pre-flop play is. We don't need it post-flop, just the pre-flop. Would you be open to that? Smiley,
I
smile.
only if we can go through an interesting hand I played today.
We have a deal. We have a deal. If that's okay with Mike, because he was going to go next.
we can go through it. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. I'll send you the details on
All right.
Discord. Oh, and that's not my name. I didn't
Monkey
finish it.
Mania. But
Monkey
no, I
May
put
I. There's an I
Come
at the end. Sorry.
okay. So all right.
Okay.
How much you
Thank you.
betting here? So
I'm gonna go
Um,
around 20.
yeah, I think 20's right.
I would maybe too small. Call. You know, I don't know what these people. They just always call. Now what are you gonna do? They just call. They have a. Who knows what they have?
Check to you after you bet what, 20?
15. Yeah, I bet 15, and they both
15.
call.
Okay. So we think that they don't have a lot of two pair. We think they don't have a lot of sets here, especially on a board that's wet and dynamic. Um, so we're gonna go. What do we have behind? We have 100 behind. We can get. I mean, the real question is, do we really want to get all the money in with this hand? I mean, I think
Yeah.
that we definitely still want to bet here, and we want to target their flush draws and their weaker king X. They shouldn't have much stronger king X, right? They're gonna open. They're unlikely to limp ace king, so we should have the best king. So we're gonna go, you know, I think anywhere from 60 to 80 here is fine. If not over betting, I don't hate an over bet because we're not gonna get paid by their flush draws on the river that don't hit. And then yeah, I mean, what are we? Yeah, we're targeting mostly flush draws, and there's not a lot of straight draws, and then weaker king X. Yep, I would go somewhat. I would go pretty big here, 60 to 80. Oh,
Okay. I
Yeah.
bet too small, I guess. But
I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your bet. Like, what was their thought process behind this bet?
well, they just didn't seem very. I mean, they're just calling. You know, I thought they've got an 8 or something. I mean, I don't know. I thought
I
they've
mean,
got a
no, that's a
bad king,
valid thought process. I usually try to
and then I
target
thought,
the inelastic parts of their range that are going to call big sizes in this spot. Is what I would go
anyway,
for.
they
Oh
get
God,
jammed on. So
yeah, we fold.
this guy just started staring at me, like just staring at my face, you know, right in my eyes, and
What do
I
you
don't
know
know.
about
I
him?
didn't. He's just not. He's a very recreational player, you know. He's not. So I just give him
Great.
I just folded here. I gave him the
Yeah, no,
benefit of the doubt.
yeah,
They,
check
Good
raise
fold.
turns are underbluffed. Yeah,
It's the most underball spot in
eight
poker.
seven, 8-7,
yeah,
king seven.
A7, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call here almost ever unless I had a reason to believe, a reason that I should. If I had some sort of extra draw to go with it, then yeah, maybe
I mean,
you're.
if they were a good player, right? I mean, there's a lot of draws they could be
Yeah,
bluffing
yeah,
with,
but
but
yeah, most of them aren't. They're just not playing their
we've
draws
seen that they
aggressively
don't do
enough.
that.
Yep.
They just don't. They just don't bluff that much, right?
I think you
So
made a very good fold. I think I would have lost more
okay,
money in this pot because I would have gone big there on the turn and he would have jammed on me, and then I would have probably had to fold and been upset.
All right, so why don't you pick one more hand to show, and then we'll go to Lewis here.
yeah, okay.
And then we'll have more time for hands on Friday.
Okay.
Got
Here's another. Here's a quick one. Okay, here we
okay,
go.
and then because Lewis right now is going to kindly burn some CPU resources for us. All right, so Ace King, we like that hand.
Again, this no.
Okay, well, this is one spot where I don't hate a four bet quite as much because the button is the spot that they're going to three bet the most. So even the reckiest rec player is going to find more three bets than they usually would for the button. So, and we're in the middle of the sandwich. We really want the button to get the hell away. How deep are we? Oh my gosh.
150 bigs.
Yeah, this guy's only got 240.
Yeah,
Is he under? He's
I'm
under
going
three betting,
live.
right?
I'm going $60 here.
Yeah, I put a little extra sauce on top, I think. 75
So don't you want to go 2.5 and then
plus
we're out
dead
of
money.
position? Yeah, plus dead
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
So
2.5, I think, is where your default here. I think I'm going a little bigger live because people are stickier. And I'm also going a little bit. When you have the color behind, it also is going to increase your 4-bet size. Just as if you were squeezing out of position here, you would go bigger, right? So you want to add additional money for the flatter behind. In theory, probably one betting unit. So that's how I get to about 60. Being that the betting unit now is, I don't know if that's the term, but being that the bet size is $21. Mike, what do you think? What would you go here? Shoving is fine too. I don't mind shoving.
how bad can it be, right? I mean, just shove.
I don't think it's bad. Not with ace king off.
Yeah, this is fine, I think.
No, I think it's fine. I would 4-bet more with the suited combo, which will allow you more playability post, right? You're going to have more flops where you feel comfortable continuing without investing your entire stack. And it's, you're also 3% to hit the nuts by river. But here, this is a fine chance.
I
We were
mean,
With the
starting
dead
to
money as
make a
well.
good point about how sticky are they with medium pairs.
yeah.
But yeah.
It's your
All right.
show, man. Show us your hand.
What's that?
Yeah, it's fine. Like,
Thank you for looking at my hands.
so
Yeah, no worries. Well,
sometimes
if bring more on Friday, Josh. You got interesting hands.
Okay.
sometimes the cold cooler's just gonna like say fuck it with ace queen suited, right? Then you're in great shape.
Yeah, yeah.
Or ace queen, just normal
Yeah,
ace
with the
queen.
capped
Yeah.
range out there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They love to cold call a free bet.
They do. You don't see it very often in line, but
Good.
all right, you got king queen off, dude. And
People
you're
are cold
150
calling
bigs.
3-bets. You're at a good table and you're playing at the right place.
That is a good point.
That's quite funny actually. That ace king hand just reminded me of a hand I played on Sunday or Saturday online. I raised ace king. Um I mean, I'm not gonna go find it because I got so many hands, but like I raised ace quick king, a sort of tight guy, free bet on the button, and then someone in the blinds just cold called. Kind of like that situation there. I shoved ace king. The guy on the button called ace king suited, and the guy who cold called the blind just folded queens. And I think I might have been like 150 deep with that guy. So I mean, I was trying to think of it because the guy had like reggy stats. I'm like trying to think like why is he not full betting the queens? Does he just think this guy's too nitty or like,
You're
you
very
know?
happy when he folds queens there.
I
You
mean,
are. Did he
was
flash queen? Is this online? He just flashed the queens afterwards?
yeah. He flashed the queens after. I mean, and then we just chopped with I just chopped with the ace king suited. I mean, there was an ace on the flop as well.
Was this on
But
GG? They like to
yeah,
flash cards on
yeah,
GG.
yeah, it was on GG. But like, this hand's on GG as well. But that was quite interesting. I was like, why wouldn't he put the four bet? Maybe he just thinks that guy's such a nit that it's just not worth it. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really like cold cooling out of position with anything. But
It's because he's too passive is why.
yeah,
He's not thinking that deeply. He's too passive and he's scared.
yeah. But yeah, interesting he folded as well. But I
Because
mean,
you
to be
either
fair,
fold or 4-bet there. You don't just cold call 3-bets
yeah.
ever.
I mean, to be fair, his fold's probably right when two people just stick in there 100, like ace king versus ace king's like best case
Oh
scenario.
yeah. Yeah, I'm saying that like him not four betting though is he's a passive fish. Like he's not
Yeah.
because he either are four betting or folding there. You're just never cold calling a three bet.
So the first like thing here is like we get free bet. This guy's kind of I don't have any history of him, but he's kind of got reggy stats like 10, 11% free bet. So um this was quite interesting. I didn't this is like the bottom of what I'd call pretty much with this reg structure. But if you look at the chart, so this is 160 deep. I only have 100 deep. And and
I'm pretty sure it usually would fold or four bet is what I would
well,
think
you
with the
can
king
do
queen.
any
Oh
at
yeah.
100 you can do anything. So
And your rate structure must be lower than mine.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is my GG rate, like the GG structure. But yeah, this is. I mean, he made it a bit smaller. My model's like 12.5, so 5x. He made it 11, so like 4.5. So, but that's at 100. At 200, it's a bit like, as you can imagine, you want to call a bit less because it's like an offsuit hand. You prefer to call
Yeah.
with these like suited stuff. Like if you
Mhm.
compare the ranges, you like want to call more of this like suited gapper, uh,
Hands that can make
more
the nuts.
more suited aces. Yeah, so like just kind of general theory. So I mean we're about 160 deep instead of so like I mean it's fine. The guy makes it smaller. Like I could four bet, fold or call. I decide to call this time, but you know, not worth sweating the small stuff really. Um, and
Okay, it's not a bad flop.
so we flop top two, and he does this like half pot.
So the first question I ask yourself is, so if you call, your SPR is going to be 50 in, let's say 20, your SPR is going to be about two, 2.5. You're blocking his continues if you imposition raise. It's a rainbow board. I think that you can smooth play this.
Yeah, what I'm thinking here is like, you know, this I
Would
don't
love
know,
to get
like so
information on the turn.
some guys just see bet anything, you know. I'm in
Yeah.
position, that's just cool.
See, I would love to, yeah, I'd love to call here because he's probably going to do this with even Jack X. He's just going to C bet everything in a three bet pot. So with his jacks that three bet you, you get to really to figure out what you're targeting on the turn river.
Yeah, I mean in theory, like when you're in the small blind, you probably want to check on a lot of flops, to be honest. It's like, you know, like I've got a condensed range, kind of hits this range like decently well. Um, so like I don't think he's got a massive range advantage. Like obviously he's
Mhm.
got kings and queens advantage. You know, I'm gonna have sevens, he's gonna have sevens. Like yeah. So Jack
Okay.
comes, not the best
That's
card.
not ideal.
Um,
What does he do?
so he barrels. So here I'm thinking like, you know, could easily have like so I mean, to be honest here, like I don't know, it's already getting a bit I mean I can think he can fold, but like,
He can have, no, no,
you
he can
know, he
have
can
aces, ace king, pocket jacks, pocket kings, queens. He's got all those hands that continue for this size, but he also has ace king in there, pocket aces. Yeah, I mean, if he's a decent player, tens might continue on this turn with a draw still
yeah.
after you smooth call the flop.
I
I don't
mean so
I, I don't know how
the,
much I don't I don't know how much an imposition raise accomplishes except growing the pot, which there's a lot to be said for that. But clearly we're not folding. I think I prefer a call.
I think call's the only option, to be honest. It seems a bit tight to fold, especially the guys like,
No, folding is
to
out
be
of
honest, I mean, if this guy's like very nitty stat, I mean, I wouldn't even call if he had nitty stats actually, so that's kind of irrelevant. So, yeah, I mean, I'm only
Yeah.
calling this hand against a reg. So yeah, I just call. Like, I think
king
it's
one
the only.
time.
Ugh,
No, it's worst card in the deck.
Yeah,
okay.
well, interesting
Now
you
his
say that
aces
worst
just
card.
improved.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I think we can all see what's going to happen. The guy shoves, and I like tank cool off, which I think will. Actually, I don't know if I'm being results or I think it's bad because like triple barrel out of position, even
Yeah,
via
this
regs,
is
just
this is
yeah.
a
I mean,
gross fold that I might not find, and I think I'm
yeah,
probably will because all the hands that I think I was beating that he's doing this with, I think I'm losing to now. Like Ace
yeah.
King. Well, no, Ace King we're still ahead of, but we're behind pocket aces. But are we? And then
Ace King doesn't triple. Like, no way. Like,
yeah, no, Ace King doesn't
it even
triple.
It
checks the
triples in
turn.
theory.
No, but yeah, in reality,
Yeah,
it checks the turn or checks the river.
I think it. Yeah, I think Ace King checks the river a lot here when the Jack pairs. Um, just the way most players are gonna play.
I
I'm
mean,
trying to
let's
figure
just
out what
yeah.
the
I
hell
mean,
that
so we're
set
getting we're
sets.
gonna win over 33% of the time. We think this is largely devoid of bluffs.
See, doing this with worse for
The
value.
only thing that the only hand that counterfeited us is aces, right?
Aces. Yes.
No other
We were
hand could.
behind
We
kings,
are
we were
now,
behind queens.
yeah, but there's only one combo each of those.
I mean, the guy's
Yeah.
repping really strong when it comes Jack Jack, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, even if he's three betting ace jack suited from I'm not usually a monsters under the bed person, but they under triple barrel. So the only thing is is there anything he's overvaluing here like ace king?
So
I
we're,
think it's ambitious to think someone like triple. Like, in my view, Ace King checks the turn or checks the river. But I think checks the turn just because like he's losing to all the King X except King 10, pretty much. Like, I mean, if you look at the range, like we're not gonna call King 10, King
I
9.
don't think it checks turn as much, but I think it checks river a lot.
Yeah.
I think it probably continues on the turn, but checks a lot up the river when it pairs a lot here. So we're kind of in this weird ass spot where he's not bluffing, but we don't know if we beat his value.
I mean, the one way you can look at this is that we're blocking the hand that we most likely still beat, which is ace king.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still lots of combos of ace king if you include ace king suited,
I
ace
mean,
king off.
I guess we can
Also
chop.
blocking kings and queens. We're behind all jack X. I mean, do you think, and I honestly discount jack X now that I think about it because I think a lot of his jack X checks the turn when it makes a pair, unless it was pocket
Good point.
jacks.
That's a very
So
good point.
he unless he has quads, I think he checks a lot of turns.
I mean, does he bluff like Queen 10 of spades? I mean, that's quite ambitious, I think, at the low stakes. People turning like pairs into bluffs. And I mean, 10
Is he
9
under, was he under
spades.
three betting over under three
No,
betting?
he had like a 10% free bet, like
You know,
pretty.
so we know this is wildly underbluffed, right? This line.
Yes,
Yeah.
triple Broadway boards, three bet pots. It's just
However,
wildly
we know
underbluffed.
we have a hand which beats a portion of his range, which is ace king. And we know
Mhm.
the pot odds we're being offered is around 30%. Let me posit a thought here. And you guys can tell me I'm
We can just
But
count combos.
by the
drugs.
way, Poker Tracker pot odds are fucking trash. I wouldn't trust them.
But we
well,
can
we could
count
figure it
combos
out,
here.
literally.
So
Yeah,
we
we
have
can
what,
count. Yeah, we can
16,
count.
less than 60. What do we
Well, the
have? How many
pot's
combos of ace king do we have?
237,
12. 12
and
combos,
you've got to
ace
call
king.
one, you've got to call 105. I get about 31%. I get about 30%.
Yeah, you're getting about
But
like
the
yeah, about 30, like a third.
the pod is slightly smaller because it's taking the full.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's stupid. So let's say the pot is let's remove 15. So it's
yeah,
237 minus
15.2.
15. Let's say 225. And you got to call 105. So it's 32%.
I mean,
So
so how many there's 12 combos of ace king left, right? No, there's less than that. There's um
Well, it's 2 times 3.
yeah, so there's six combos of ace king.
No, 2 times 4. Sorry, 2 times 4.
Eight, yeah,
Eight.
eight. Yeah, you're right. 8 combos of ace king, and then there's still what, 6 combos of aces, and then there's one combination of jacks, and then we think we can discount ace jack here a lot because we think ace jack checks back the turn a lot. So we're kind of at what, 50-50 here now? And then what we have, and then how many combos of kings and queens are left? We have
One.
one combo of kings and queens. So we're kind of actually probably shouldn't be calling here because it seems like there's more combos of value than there are of combos we beat. And we think he's under bluffing.
All right,
Yeah.
we're ready for the reveal.
Yeah, I think he's under bluffing and there's more combos of
Let's
value
wait
than
before
there
you show the
are.
reveal. Hold on. Let's guess his combination. I'm gonna guess he has got aces.
I'm in between aces and quads.
Very hard to have quads.
It's true. I'm just trying to think of what makes sense here, though. Like aces make sense, quads make sense. The
Ace
same
Jack makes
kings
sense,
makes
kind of.
sense. I think ace jack doesn't make as much sense. I just think that when he makes showdown on the turn, he checks back a lot.
Yeah, I
Could
think
have ace 10, I guess, like for
Yeah,
the Broadway.
ace 10.
ace
Yeah,
10.
there's ace 10 as well that might continue, that would continue.
I'm going aces. Everybody vote. I say
Uh,
aces.
I think
Pocket
aces.
tens for the sick bluff, right?
I like it. Pocket tens.
I think I think it's I think it's aces. Or yeah, I think it's aces. It's more likely that it's aces than it's kings or queens.
Yeah,
Okay.
combinatorically, it's aces.
Okay. I'm gonna say no one guessed it right.
Holy
Ah,
shit, King Jack.
It's King Jack. He
wow.
got
Wow.
he was so dead on the flop, but yeah,
What?
I mean,
Luck box.
you guys kind of figured it. Yeah, you know what? I think it's like it's so hard to find a bluff. It like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you counted the combos. Is I mean, we're gonna get shown King Jack,
We
Kings,
didn't yeah, we didn't even
Queens,
add King Jack
se
for
So hard to have
sevens.
it.
yeah.
Like this was just a bad call by me. Like you know, everything else was fine. I think
No,
flop was
I'm not
fine.
going to put it in a bad call. I mean,
I
I think
think
theoretically, if
it's
you're
it's
a
beating any
cooler.
value, then it can be a call. And you are beating value on ace king.
I think it's
yeah,
a cooler
but
and you can find the fold here sometimes.
I have a different view to
Brian
you
put it
guys.
well. It's a cooler, but you can find an exploit fold.
Yeah, I disagree on the Ace King personally. I play. I don't think. I think they check a street with Ace King in my view. But
That's why I agree. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
I think we heavily discount ace king here. So the only thing we beat is like we could even
we
give him
just be
half of we could give him four
yeah,
combos and remove eight because we say it's eight, but we could say four because half the time he probably checks one street. So
yeah.
we're in a spot where there's way more combos that beat us than we're ahead of.
I mean, the only bluffs we beat are like missed Ace of Spades, X
So, do you
Spades.
guys think we're never beating value here on?
I don't think so.
I think that triple barrels under bluffed.
Well,
yeah,
if we're never beating value, this is our rough spot. Then we can exploit fold.
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
we know
yeah.
this is under bluffed.
Well, two combinations of things: underbluffed and we don't beat value. If we come up with that, then we can never fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely lessons from this hand. Like, yeah, I mean, this is really applicable because you're going to be in whatever games you play, you're going to be sometimes the cooler in a free bet pot and then face triple off and you have a strong hand and you have to
I
really
still think
make.
your call on turn is the right call as opposed to a raise.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't need to deny equity with this much fucking.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I try to be really critical on
I mean,
this
the only
just
reason
because.
to jam is to deny equity, and you don't want to do that.
No, yeah, no, I mean, the flop and turn is very
I
simple,
mean,
I
he was
think.
drawing to two outs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
But
and you
Assuming
had
someone didn't fold a jack.
You said it, Larry, though, like, oh, you got the worst card in the deck. I feel like that's always a nice clue to like way overfold. Like
yeah,
when
that's a good point. He had
good
you were 96% on turn.
yeah, because I'm thinking I've been thinking that decent amount last time, like when you get the worst card in the deck, it's not like these sickos are gonna know like actually they're not gonna know the card's bad for
Yeah,
your
I mean, they're playing what, 10 and 0?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I would just assume based on that they don't know. And
So
that
do we think
they're just not triple barreling on, especially on triple Broadway boards and 3-bet pots.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
we think that he's gonna like bet the river if he doesn't hit the full house?
Yeah, I think he bets the river if he doesn't
Or
hit the full house,
if
and
it's
I
like
think
a
we have an
deuce,
easier
yeah.
call. Yeah, we have a
Yeah,
much
yeah,
easier
yeah.
call in that situation. But when he hits it, it's like
Yeah.
that. I mean, just because it also somewhat counterfeits our hand against aces. I mean, it does counterfeit our hand against aces.
All right. Yeah, the board pairing up, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good
So
point.
it's a.
I mean, you're right, Lewis. If we say to ourselves, that's the worst card in the deck, and then they shove, we can probably find an overfold.
I knew it wasn't ace jack. Ace jack doesn't make sense. Not correct. King jack. I didn't include that one. Good 3-bet from him. All right. Is that the only one you had, Lewis? Anybody else?
I think Mike
Finish
had
Uh,
yours,
hands.
Josh?
I mean, I have
Okay.
loads of hands, but I'm not gonna hog. I kind of want
I
to
have an
play.
interesting one, actually. Maybe I think it's more interesting than it is,
Well, hold on. Let's
but
just see if Mike hasn't. Mike, do you want to show hands? Or would you prefer Brian bring up his hand? Mike is going and doing something more interesting than poker geeking. So go ahead,
this
man.
is, I find this one interesting because it's one that I deviated from my normal strategy on. Um, and honestly, number one, I shouldn't be opening this from this position, technically, especially to 10x to 5x. But I do. I was a little card dead and maybe got a little emotional and looked down at a pretty nice hand and was like, all right, let's play some poker. Um, and this is the action we get. So this is a guy, he's a Ukrainian guy that I play with a lot, and I understand his strategy very well, and I've been able to absolutely dominate him when we play against each other. But he's better than most of the players, just I just understand his play much more. And so he checks here. And this is a spot where I'm not going to check. I have a thick value hand that doesn't really love to check raise because when I start piling in money with top pair, top kicker, I'm not loving my hand anymore. So I'm gonna go with a C bet here on this flop. And we're gonna get called.
I would have
It
preferred a
go
check here. I mean, let's talk about why a check might be better. So you're not.
okay.
So you got you're in a hand with four players against four
Hmm.
ranges, and you're
Yeah.
massively out of multi-way out of position.
Yes.
The advantage of checking here is, well, let's look at texture. A texture does have draws, but it's not the wettest texture we've ever seen in our life, right?
That's true.
Um, you benefit from checking here because you're going to understand a little bit more about where these people are, and you're dealing with three ranges. You've got a strong hand, but I don't know if you really want to grow this hand from flop against three people.
I don't disagree with you. This, if I was here or here, I would really like my continuation bet a lot
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
From
The
here, I
fact that you're
don't
out of
love it.
position to two people, I think gets me more to a check here.
Yes. I don't love this, but I kind of didn't really think and went on autopilot and said, this is my thick value in multi-way and out of position pots. I've started to bet my thick value as a check instead of so that I don't have to, because I don't want to check raise this hand.
Yeah,
So we get called in two spots. I agree, though. I think that this can definitely be a check a lot of the time here. Um, and now we
I
get
understand.
this. So normally I am throwing my hand away so fast, but he check raises his top pair hands often, multi-way, to try
That's a
and
He's a
yes.
fucking badass motherfucker.
Yeah, so he does this often with strong top pair hands. Not, I mean, and a lot of the time, from what I can tell, he slow plays. So, like when he flops an overpair, which I completely discount from his range because he is aggressive enough pre-flop that he's gonna 3-bet his queens, kings, and aces. So he has no overpairs here, and he slow plays and traps a lot of his sets in two pairs. So I was originally about to throw it away, and then I look to my left and I see them both putting their cards over the line and like getting
Already.
ready to fold. Yes, once he does this, and I know that he will check raise his top pair type hands often, multi-way. So I think I have enough to call here, and I also know that I'm good enough to get away from this on a later street if he tells me otherwise. Because a lot of the time, once he gets called here, he's going to slow down a decent bit with, his King Jack and stuff like that, or even Jack 10 that he might do this with. So I decided that that's enough reason for me to call here, knowing enough about his play style
Yeah.
to make the call and see that I know that they were going to fold behind me, and I'm in position. I get to figure out what goes on from there. And this is where I make my biggest mistake, though, is he now checks. And now I know exactly what he has, and I didn't do what like. My plan was that if he checks now on the turn, he has top pair that I have outkicked 90% of
Uh-huh.
the time, or we're chopping. So I should be targeting his top pair hands here, right? With that read.
If you're pretty clear about this player, sure, then you've got
That's what
clear
I,
value.
yeah, that's what I think is what and I checked it back here, which
So do you think
I
he check
don't
raises
like.
here to do equity denial stuff? Is he thinking
He's
I want to fold everyone else out when I have the best hand before the board changes?
That's kind of what I think he does a lot of. He he is a more solid player than most. Like he is more aggressive than most of the players. I've played with him a lot, and he's also sick of my shit. So he's played with me a lot and been bluffed a lot and been, he has caught me in some bluffs where he's like, what the hell, man? But he knows that I play like he in the least cocky way, he is scared to play against me. Like him and I have played with each other a lot, and I consistently put him in really tough spots, and he doesn't love it. Like I know he
Well,
always
yeah,
is
and he
like, dude,
knows
I
he
don't
can
want to
probably
play
make
with you.
money more easily playing with other people.
Yes. So now when he checks, this is I should always be going for value here before, an overcard comes out to his jack and he either makes two pair or he before he gets scared off and won't pay me more money. And I think this is a mistake here. I think that here I can be going. Now he is sensitive to sizing, so I think here to target value, I think like what size do you think you would want to go here with the
Well, so
read,
our
assuming you have
SPR
bet?
is what? Our SPR is like 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's
Uh,
like 1.3 or something.
Okay,
yeah,
1.3.
in that area. I don't
You can
think a
go
So
jam is the
you can go
play. I
like
think,
80.
I would
yeah, I
go
think
like I would go like 60. I'd go like 75, 80. I think that's good.
I didn't do that, but I actually agree. I think that here I go to 75 or 80 and I get that extra money right here, but I check behind. And that's the only thing I thought was interesting really because
Check's not
now
bad.
we drill top two and he checks and I'm trying to figure out the sizing. I think I ended up going um I didn't put it in correctly because I did bet here, but it was I bet I think I bet 80 here because I just thought he was super crippled. His range was just not very strong, and I thought I could maybe get a jack to call for like 80,
Bef-
but he
before
folds.
you have to show the reveal, I think that you can go bigger here because you are ostensibly capped when you check turn, right?
Hmm.
Sure, the ace is going to hit your range a lot after you check turn, but I think that once you check turn and then you river additional equity, well, we river two pair. I think that you you've given yourself license to go bigger because your hand does not look as strong, even though again the ace hits your range a lot. I think that I think you're now allowed to go bigger. I think I would go
Yeah,
like 200 here.
with I agree. I think that against, but I disagree because I know that against this player, like I've been in these situations with him often where I'm constantly like squeezing and trying to get heads up with him because he's good, but
Uh,
like I know that I understand how he plays very well, so I'm very easily able to exploit him. And So he's been like I know like he's made some folds against me that are pretty damn good when I'm going super small, like targeting exactly what he has, and he'll face up show me. And I'm like, damn, like that's exactly what I was targeting here, and he won't call me. But
Uh-huh.
so that's kind of why I'm going smaller here, is because I think, but maybe the better is that like maybe he does understand. I mean, he knows that I am capable of bluffing, and maybe every once in a while I jam here and make it look like I'm bluffing a lot to get him to call off. That's what I'm trying to understand about how to exploit this player better, because I'm missing thin value on rovers against him when I know he's just not strong and his range is capped, but he's making the right folds against me often. I'm like, do I just
Got
go
it.
super small to target those weaker hands, like even smaller than I think, or do I just go way bigger to make it look like I'm bluffing a lot?
Yeah, I mean, you could do the math, but you just don't have to get called that much more often for it to be profitable. I mean,
Okay.
you're going to call it a lot less with a big size, but if you do the math,
I mean,
you
his hands face up here. Like I know what he
you
has
have to
in
get
this
called very
spot.
few times for it to be more profitable for you to bet big here.
So Brian,
If
if you
we
got here with 9, 10, or 6, 7 of hearts, or what are you bluffing with?
If I get here, I
Or
mean,
what's your
there's not a
size?
lot of, if I got here, I'm confident that he has a jack. I know I can make him fold a jack. I am going to, oh, I'm just gonna blast here. I'm gonna go all in. I don't think he can call me at all when I jam.
Okay, so if he calls you with a jack for half pot,
I went, the sizing I used was 80 is what I thought I could get him to call with a jack. I went very small.
yeah, I'm kind of with Larry. I think you have an opportunity to bet bigger because
Okay.
he should be kind of hero calling with
Well,
with your bluffs.
yeah. I mean, yeah, the reason I'm going, I mean, I've just been in this spot with him enough that it's like I keep going smaller and smaller, trying to get him to call when I'm pretty dialed into what he has. Like, I remember the one time I basically was like, I know he has jacks right now. And I had turned an ace and I bet small again. And he just face up shows jacks and folds. And I'm like, damn, like, I thought that's the size I need to get him to call here.
Okay, so then your bluffs then don't need to be big either then.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. That's true. Maybe I don't need to jam quite as much here. That you're right. Maybe I would say that maybe, I mean, I do like to put a little extra on top to force them to fold when I'm confident that they're just completely capped and can't call me. Um, I would say, yeah, maybe instead like we go like 70 here, because maybe that gets him to call. And then when we're bluffing, we just go like 140 and we're able to make him fold out for
Hmm.
just twice what we would if we were going for value instead of having to risk my whole stack. Yeah. Good point, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, that was just weird, where I think this is the biggest mistake though, is just the check on the turn. Yeah,
So
I think,
so what happened on river?
oh, face up showed me king queen and folded. Or queen jack and folded. So he does
Okay.
not call. I bet 80, he doesn't call, and he folds queen jack. So
Yeah, I think you got a value bet on turn. I think you're right.
yeah, I think that with understanding how he plays well enough that I need to be betting this turn here, because I know that
So
he's gonna check raise
is
his
his
jacks
motivation for
off
the
enough.
check raise here with the top pair marginal kicker? Is it to deny equity, do you think? He doesn't want bigger cards to come? What do you think his reason is?
I think he's a little bit spazzy sometimes, and he's in a spot where like he is in for 2, 3 buy-ins right now, and he's frustrated. So when he makes a hand, he's like, I want to bet my hand, like equity denial. Like I don't want any, like I want to bet my hand. Well, I think I have the best hand here.
Yeah, I think it's
A
equity
lot.
denial.
Yes, which I think is completely wrong, especially multi-way. Like maybe you can get behind it
Yeah.
heads up,
You're
but I
really
think
strong when you bet here into three people.
yes. And this is a snap fold if I don't see this behind me, the two people getting ready to fold. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his play it's interesting actually because I mean, he should probably just fold top pair here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if this is the action, if I have Queen Jack, which I'm never getting here with Queen Jack, but and this is the action in front of me, yeah, I think I might call one time, not wanting to lay it down yet. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to fold here a lot of the time.
Because I don't hate his raise. I hate his size. But
Oh yeah, this is
to
terrible.
clear out some equity from these callers, you could be c betting. I know, you only c bet your thick value here at multi-way. Nobody really
He
knows
doesn't know
that.
that. Yeah.
So you could be, a player could be c betting range because that's what they're supposed to do, air quotes. Um,
Hmm.
and then by raising, you do clean out some equity, but I don't know. It's
Yeah.
probably just a fold.
Yeah. I think that this is I don't even, yeah, I really don't want like what your hand doesn't really get that much from check raising here after this is the action in front of you. Like if it was just if I bet and they both folded, then maybe I can understand it a little bit more for equity denial and thinking that I'm just stabbing too wide, which in a lot of cases I am. But in this spot with two callers behind, I think you just really want to fold here, or I mean, maybe call. Really don't want to call here either. But yeah, so that I thought that one was a little bit of an interesting one where I deviated from my typical like this is just going to be a fold all the time, a lot of the time here against most players, but against him, we have an understanding of the way he plays. So I thought it was an interesting spot to show.
It is an interesting spot. Mike, did you want to show some hand?
I had him, but I'm gonna be leaving here shortly.
All right. Um, eh, Josh, you had some more hands, right? That I cut you off from.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a few more. Does Rain want to do his hands or someone else?
Ray, did you have? Oh, did you have hands?
No, I've not been playing really. So
Okay, I've got a couple more hands we can do.
All right, man. Let's see your hands.
Can you see?
We can, yes.
All right, here we go. Okay, so yeah, and what are you doing here? Anyone playing this or
Fold.
just muck or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fold. I mean, you could three bet it if you want to on button, but it's three bet fold. I don't think we'll take away your three bet option here. Aggressive three bet.
Yeah, so I was watching one of the Matt Affleck videos, but he was kind of saying that he doesn't mind calling with like Jack 10 off and Queen Jack off, stuff that can make the Broadway straight and some suited aces because
Well, here's an
basically
important delineation, an important difference, right? So Matt is playing tournaments. Two differences. He's got antes that he's fighting for that are in the pot, and the biggest difference by far is he's playing a chip EV game, and you're playing with a lot of rake.
yeah.
And
Does he only do tournaments then? I wasn't. Yeah.
Matt Affleck, yes, he only does tournaments.
Okay. So maybe I made a mistake. But
So
I mean, I
once
just
you
thought
add your rake, your
the rake,
range
yeah.
becomes a lot different here.
But just because like people are gonna let you, they're not gonna check raise bluff you, they're not gonna like barrel on you, so you can kind of you can kind of realize your equity better, which is why I tried calling this. Normally I don't, I would just fold.
Yeah, I understand your point.
Anyway, so I tried this one. So I got that flop, and they
Interesting.
just checked. So I don't, you know, I thought that I don't want to get check raised off, like pretty good flop really. So I just checked back. But would you bet that? I mean,
Well, the king is really good for his range, right? In theory.
yeah.
You like blocking ace king. The first question before you bet, the first question to ask yourself is, can you call a check raise with this hand?
I mean, not really, but it's a shame to fold, isn't it?
I
Then
honestly
that
think you would be fine with getting folded off of this hand.
so if you yeah, so it might be a bet fold. So this is a fun hand to play, frankly, and getting check raised off it would suck balls. So I think I'm behind your check.
So I check back.
I think what do you think, Mike?
Mm,
When you get here,
the
this is
fact that
kind
he
of an interesting
checks, I
spot.
mean, he should be checking at a pretty decent clip. Is the player a decent player, unknown, bad player?
Unknown. The only thing I know
Yeah.
about him is he's raising to 7, not 12, which is like some of these guys at this table just open to 12, which is ridiculous. But whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that after this hand. Like the open sizes, and someone had the GTO wizard chart up where you have to be so tight. Like wasn't it showing if they open to 6x or something, you're like folding pocket tens on the button.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
And it's just like ridiculously tight. But
Yeah,
so
that's against a computer that is opening that range to 5x big blinds. So you get the three
but I
bet
mean,
wider than that shows, and because they're opening wider than they're supposed to.
should I be opening that big if everyone's just going to call and
Yeah, you just open bigger until you get the play heads up. Just keep opening bigger.
I
yeah,
will say
it just
this
means
particular,
you get free bet more, right? If you open big like that, there's less incentive to call. You're more likely to get free bet, right? So
Against a
not
good
that these
player
people,
that thinks that way. Yes.
free bet.
Yeah, against a good player that thinks that way, then yeah, you should technically be getting three bet more when you open and not be getting called, but that's not the way it's going to go. You're going to get called by weaker hands, is what's going to happen a lot of time, and you'll be able to play heads up against a weaker range than yours.
Anyway,
in this particular combo that you have, I think is a pretty good opportunity that when he checks for you to start betting. The ace of clubs is pretty powerful, and not just now, but for later streets.
yeah. Anyway, he bet this for small size, right? Well, 10. 10 into 17. Okay. So not that small. So, right. Anyone raising this? Or
Not raising.
No, now we just call.
Yep. I would
just
call.
call? Queen of spades, and they just check. So, you going for thin value on this, or what? Or,
No way.
I don't think I'm going for. I'm deciding whether we're turning this into a
You can
bluff or
check
not.
and win here at a pretty decent clip.
Yeah, I think that what is he? He just stabs randomly on the turn with a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I think you're good enough to just check and win here. I think he's gonna have a lot of showdown though that you're gonna lose to a decent amount of time. But yeah, you're good.
yeah, just a random tiny stab on the turn,
Hmm.
with, yeah. So that's like these people. I mean, he should have, right? If he'd see bet flop, and then barreled, he would we would have folded. But anyway, they don't do that.
Nope,
Okay,
that's
in the big
preferable.
blind. So now we got like a normal size open, which was nice to see. So I thought we can defend this in the big blind, right? For 6, for a 3x raise, right?
I think
I
so.
Free
bet
betting
it's
that.
King is
close.
going to be
Yeah,
good enough with the cutoff raise, and certainly probably with your skill level, assuming your skill levels, you know, higher
I
than
bet from
cutoff.
yeah, I bet from hijack it's a fold. I bet from cutoff you got some calls here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, check, bet,
Just
and
I mean just call.
Not loving it.
just call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Make him triple if he's
King's
going to.
King's nice. So
Yeah.
and now they bet big. So the pot was 23. They bet 20. So almost pot size. Are
Yeah,
you
you
raising
can't
this
raise.
or what?
No, I don't think you can raise here.
He's quite polar.
No.
Yeah, I think you call.
Just call, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Consider
So I
donking
just
some
call
rivers.
7. So pot 63, and he bet 30. So half pot.
Now
Yeah,
I'm gonna
easy
raise.
call.
Oh.
You would raise? You would now raise?
Yeah, I think I can raise here.
Is it based on his down
Size.
bet size?
Yeah, I think it's just sizing. I would min click it though to like 60. Not large. I think we can get a king to call that we were beating. But I don't know. I mean, what do we think? He's not going to triple barrel often enough, but is this ever the size he takes when he flops a flush? I think it's very unlikely that he takes this sizing when he makes the flush. So I think we have the best hand here a lot. I mean, when we just call, what do we do? So if he, I can see him still betting some king X. Yeah, actually,
I could get
maybe.
behind a raise. I could get behind a small raise. I'm
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna
probably
go
in game.
big.
I'm probably just calling though.
Yeah, I just called. Okay.
Solely based on his sizing, I think. I mean, I don't know anything about the player. Maybe he doesn't telegraph quite as much as everyone else, but I think a lot of the time this is just, oh, wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it was annoying, but like I think,
Yeah, well, a
You
lot of the
lost the
time, man.
minimum.
Yeah, I would have lost more money. Nice hand.
he just got lucky. But I mean, I thought that hand was fine, right? Like I didn't think.
Yeah, part of what made me think about him about not raising though in the end was that the fact that he is continuing the bet. I mean, because what we just his bluffs all fold, and we think that he does have a stronger range when he does
Yeah.
continue. So that's kind of what does make but why I was like at the end there, I was like, wait, maybe I don't want to raise here.
Yeah,
I don't
his
know.
flop bet and his turn bet were relatively large, relative to the size of the pot. So he gets to the river and makes a third bet on
Yeah.
what could be a kind of a scary board from a big blind defend. So
Hmm.
that's why I was a little wary about wanting to raise there.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he could have a set, like he could raise pocket fives, fours, and deuces, and just been betting strong, and then he's getting worried that you've got a flush or a better set or whatever. That's kind of their mindset.
Well, it's really good that he's raising king seven offsuit from the cutoff. That's a standard raise. You get to make a lot of money against this player in the future.
Yeah.
So I would just three bet this guy super wide. Like not super wide, but like all those hands that maybe don't three bet quite as much. Like my king 10 offsuit's probably gonna three bet now.
All right, see you, Mike.
All right. See you on Friday, Mike.
Okay, another hand.
All right. King 9. Let's go. Good luck.
You raising this up? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
This
pure open.
position.
You can make
Okay.
flushes and straights.
Big blind calls. Okay, so now, do you want to see bet that? They check.
Do we know anything about big blind?
No.
Okay,
Not
so
played
he's
him
an
before.
unknown. Well, the first thing to think about is the check raise really sucks here. You've got a
Yeah.
marginal hand, which would like to navigate to showdown. However, there's a lot of bad flop turns and uncomfortable turns and rivers. I actually, frankly, on this 10 high flop, prefer a check back.
Yeah, that's what I did. Right? Anyone
Brian, are you
disagree?
betting this?
Yep. Yes, I am.
Yep.
Yeah, Brian. What size would you use here, Brian?
Like 10, even though it's a $15 pot. I mean, I guess in his game, maybe I go 7 since that's a normal
So
price.
I think Brian's got a good point here. Can you kind of explain why you're betting here? Like, what is the purpose of your bet? Is it value? What is it?
Me?
Yeah, I don't think it's
It's the
bad, by the way. I think it's
same
fine to
reason.
bet here.
I'm gonna do in this spot, we have a marginal made hand, so we can deny equity to two over cards and stuff like that. But we also get to get them to rate just to get clarity on their range in this specific spot because they're gonna check and flow to you often here. So
Yeah. So the one
we
I
get
think you're
to get
right. So
clarity here.
Do you really want him to raise his really good shit and fold out his bad shit here?
I
Because
want
when he
him to call with
raises,
his
that
bad
means
shit.
you can't call it check raise. So when he
No, just
raises,
fold.
that means you've lost,
Yeah, but when they under
you've
check
equity
raise
dialed
as a
yourself.
bluff.
You've lost the ability to hit a king or a 9 in the future.
Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, in this spot, like they're under check raising as a bluff. So in this spot, when they are check raising me here, it's going to be mostly 2 pair plus, which I'm not. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not like dying to draw to my king or my 9 against
All right.
against that. You know?
I think you got a good point. And just there aren't enough bluffs you're saying around the 9-10. Okay. That's fair. I see your point. I like a check here because what I'm thinking about is the
I don't want
texture
to build
is
a
good.
massive pot, right?
The texture is good for big blind, right? A check raise sucks
Yeah.
balls. And I would like to navigate to showdown, especially when I can potentially, on rare occasions, improve. But I could totally understand
Okay.
where Brian's coming from. That's a good card.
Also, yeah. And they bet small.
This is a pure call.
What we just call. There is one thing in that new Hungry Horse video. He was talking about them finding more bluffs on board pairing card, like low cards.
Yeah, I saw that. That was an interesting one.
Oh,
And
he
he
bets 10
takes this
again.
very small size. So what is he telling you about his range here?
Is shit. Right.
Yeah. Shit, exactly. So he's saying that so what is composed of this range, do we think?
Bad tens and some nines, right? Or some
Is it more?
under pairs, some sevens, sixes.
Yeah,
Not
what?
sixes. Like
True.
pocket sevens, maybe.
So your pot odds are I mean, we're never folding. Your pot odds are ridiculous. You're getting 20% roughly.
You raising for value or
No, it wouldn't be a raise for value.
Yeah, if we're raising here, it's going to be to turn our hand into a bluff.
If you're raising here, you're trying to fold out
10x.
10?
what is a lot of really bad 10x. However, given these pot odds of 20%, you don't really have to win that often
Yeah.
for this to
I'm
be
going
a
to take the
profitable call.
passive route and call.
I don't know Brian, what are you doing here? Are you calling?
I think I'm going to take the passive route on this one and just call here. I think I win often enough
Yeah, I
that
think
I
you just
can just
call and then
call.
you just understand that
Yep.
you're nice. You just understand that you're going to lose a lot, but you don't have to win often for it to be profitable given this number.
Yeah.
You just kind of accept that you just understand the pot odds. So just
Great.
respect the pot
Okay.
odds. All right. So this one we're gonna yell at you for playing 8-7 suited.
Yeah, you're gonna yell at me again.
That's
I didn't learn, but they did only open to 6, so it's smaller open, right? And
true.
I'm on the button.
All right. So you're playing a flight on
Well, you can
hand, which
3-bet
is
it a little
actually
bit more
better
than.
multi-way because you like hands that can make straights and flushes multi-way.
Yeah, even if you got to be careful with the low flushes, right?
You do have to be careful with the
multi-way.
low flushes, yes.
Okay, so here we are.
And the
Four
other
ways.
thing that is more important, I think, which is more important than the low flushes, is you have to be very disciplined if you have just a single pair. Right? So you got to play really smart when you just hit a low pair on a board here in the situation. But it's always nice to flop the nuts.
And he'll check. So that was sad. But
So what's your SPR? So your SPR is around 8. So there's a lot of ways to think about this hand. So if you have an SPR of 8 and you wanted to get all of this in by river, one way, this is actually a Matt Affleck thing. If you don't know what bet size to use and you've got the nuts, just default to geometric. So I'm going to put in chat a cheat sheet for geometric here. So if you were to bet geometric here, obviously there's a lot of shitty turns and rivers. If you were to bet geometric here, you would bet 80% pot, 80% pot, 80% pot, and that would get essentially all of your money in against aces here across 3 streets. I think, but then in theory, it's multi-way. You can bet smaller. I think you would go between like $12 and $20 here. I kind of liked $20. What do you think, Brian?
In theory, they should have what? They shouldn't have that many check raises here, right?
Uh, I I don't
I
know.
think they
I don't know in
shouldn't
theory, frankly.
on this board.
I
But
don't
I
know.
think that in general, like not theory wise, because obviously that's not exactly what I rely on in live poker. I would say that they are going to have a decent amount of check raises, but I think you just go with the 20, 15 or 20,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
now
then
I
just
wish I would have bet 20 because a flush draw is just not going to fold, right?
no, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
No.
exactly. I mean, you get so look, this is kind of weird, is you have three ranges you're up against. You have the nuts. So you against three ranges, what do we want to do? Like we want to go, I feel like we can probably just target the strong parts of their ranges that aren't going to fold and maybe even go bigger than 20, Like their flush draws aren't folding for 25 or 30. So they're not going anywhere. It's like 10x isn't folding yet. So we can just do a lot of, yeah, I think
Just
we
go
just, against
25.
three, yeah, I think it's three ranges. We can just go big here exploitatively, even though like because they're not gonna, I mean, they're probably not good, so you can probably just go big and they're not gonna read into that as much and just call down with their 10x at least for one street, and then you can get their flush draws a call. I mean, there's enough bad cards on the turn that 10x isn't gonna call much more money either. So yeah, I think you just go big here.
Yeah, I think whenever you're in a situation where the nuts, think geometric. Just kind of have a rough estimation of what geometric is, which is really hard to do live because you're dealing with multiple stacks, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, okay, 15's fine. All right, we get 2 callers. We like that. Clean river dealer. Bad turn dealer.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sucked.
It does
So,
suck. All right, check,
so
check.
now what?
Um,
Mm.
this is a very tough situation. You're against 2 ranges, but I think an
I mean,
exploitative
we
play
still did a
here.
lot, right? But then the rest of the time we're just dead. So
We are oftentimes dead here. I like Brian may disagree with this. I like betting 50, and then I'm gonna check back on rivers. I'm also gonna check to a donk. I'm gonna fold to a donk on river, and I'm gonna fold to a check raise here on turn.
Yep,
What?
I would like a smaller size though. Go
Yeah,
small, keep them
yeah.
wide. And then when you don't get check raised or donked into on the river, you can target thin value there. And I think you can get more than $50 in it by going for two streets.
So
Yeah, I like that. I don't hate that at all.
yeah, this is fine. Check, check, and then if we get check raise here, it's a all
Okay,
right.
so all right.
Another
So
shitty
we
card.
not a great card. Now what does
So
he
what
do?
does he do? I
Okay,
check,
don't
so
and then
we
see.
target
So
a weak range.
so Brian might take thin value here, which I think is fine, but I really didn't like the turn, and I don't like the. It's hard for them to have Queen Jack, but I don't like the river. I think our hand. The other question you have to ask is, can you get called by worse?
Yes.
I like a check back here because it's hard for him to call worse when you bet twice on this run out. I like a fucking nitty check back, but Brian
I'm gonna bet
might
again
have enough
because they're
balls to go for thin value here.
You just don't get bluffed off your shit enough
Yeah,
that I feel like you get to go for thin value much more.
yeah, I
So
think you got a good point.
I think we go very small to target. I mean, I think there's also a decent amount of two pairs that just got turned or rivered. So
That's a good point.
we get to which we think that we discount a lot of flushes when we go when it goes he check calls and then he doesn't donk into us because a lot of fish are going to donk this river with a flush. So we get to go somewhat small to attack a weak range of hands. So I would go like 40 or 50 here.
Yeah, I went too small.
I mean, it's right around the area, and every once in a while you get called by a weak ass flush that they played super passively, but you're gonna value on
No
yourself
one's
sometimes.
you're not jamming this river for thin value, are
No,
you? You're not.
no. What caused a jam that's worse? Yeah, no.
You gotta
It's
get called
a,
by worse, yeah.
yeah. I don't think anything's
Well,
calling a jam
pocket
that's worse.
sixes, maybe. You think pocket
Yeah, I mean,
sixes
there's
are gonna
some.
call?
Yeah, you're right. There's definitely some hands to call.
We discount a lot of that, right, though, after we don't get check raise on the flop on a wet dynamic board.
Yeah, I'm a nit. I'm checking this back because I'm like, not enough calls me it's worse. But I think Brian is fine here in going for thin value. Did he muck?
Yeah, just showed the straight on Emacs and looks sad.
Yep.
Then, well, that's good for you for going to thin. I would not have found this thin value. Brian would have found it. I would not have found it. Ryan, would you have found thin value in this river?
Yeah.
Rain?
Oh, I thought you said
Uh,
Brian. You said Ryan.
yeah. Probably not. No, but
Yeah, it's hard to find the thin value there.
I haven't played a single hand like live, and it's very hard to find like live games in the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Really,
So
that
like
sucks.
Do you have to go
I
underground to find love games?
I looked into it a little bit when I saw like some comments from Brian a few sessions ago. Um, and there's like only like I think like six or eight casinos or something in the whole country that have poker rooms, and they only start at 8 p.m. Uh,
What time are
Interesting.
they
so
open till if they start at 8 p.m.?
yeah, I mean, I have to I can't stay up late
Yeah,
for
I'm assuming you have a job you have to go to, so you can't exactly be up till 3 o'clock in the
no,
morning
it
playing.
it's epilepsy.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
even worse.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's a tough situation. There was a guy who I used to love that named Sam, who had epilepsy. Who plays poker, used to be on Twitch. He was a really good player, English. Anyway, all right, you got another hand for us?
Yep.
And Reen, you feel free to
Yeah, I'll ask
bring,
Rain some questions. Rain, what would you do here? You got limper under the gun,
yeah,
and you got the A7 of spades
all right.
in the loader.
So um,
Are you gonna?
I'm probably like open, but open a little bit larger, right? So probably like at around 10, 19.
Yeah. Anyone like just limp along with this hand? No.
No,
Is that terrible? No.
I
I
don't think
wouldn't
it's
limp this.
I don't think it's terrible. I am a little bit, maybe a lot more passive than Brian, but I don't. I'm not against Overlimps Live, but I'm in the minority because
I
you're
made a
pretty
10.
early too. So when you get
I
flash
like.
behind in your game, it's gonna be pretty hard to play this. Yeah. So now this is just gonna be a very
Oh,
difficult hand to play.
Mm.
this is typical. So but luckily
Oh,
we
that
got it
makes it
nutted
easier.
down,
Uh,
right? So
yeah.
So Josh, this is my argument for a bigger size. So taking this as an ISO is fine, but if you can take this heads up, you're just going to have a lot more. I mean, half the game in poker is equity denial. This is now. I mean, this is a dream to have this hand multi-way, but you can call a shove. But you really just want to attempt to take hands heads up. So if you overlimp that's a different game. It's you're playing implied hands. I can make them nuts, but I think if you are going to ISO, you just want to ISO bigger.
So are you betting this, Rain? Are you gonna C bet or what? How are you gonna play this spot?
Well, two people have already checked, right? So I do think we want to get some money in the pot with this.
The blind, the first two people check. There's still one guy
Yeah.
behind us, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we definitely want to build a pot, right? Just don't go too big.
Yeah, I just don't know if this is a good board for us, right? In general, but I don't know. I just checked at this point because I'm not sure why. I just thought that they're gonna
Check's
bet.
good.
This is the kind of board they're all gonna bet on, you know?
Check's good. Yeah, now you get to check raise the shit out of it, maximize fold equity, and when you check and it checks through, that's okay. You get to realize one free card.
You're gonna check raise this, right?
Absolutely. Now with two players, I'm still check raising here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go huge too. I mean, I'm deciding whether I want to just go 65. We're kind of in a spot where the stacks are so short. Pot's already 65 that either what do I check raise? Do I want to check jam or do I want to? I mean, we're okay with maximizing fold equity and we're completely fine with seeing two cards with all the equity we have. I would jam. They fold, that's fine. If they call, that's okay.
Yeah.
Jamming's fun here.
Yeah, I would just jam.
Is it
Yeah,
okay
jam.
to just call along with like we got a
Oh.
backdoor straight draw and then we can dominate another flush draw and we gain a great price? Like, is that?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that
I
terrible?
think calling isn't bad. I mean, so what you'll find often in Solverland is the better the draw, the less we check raise it. So this kind of
Yeah.
draw to the nut flush and a gutter, it will sometimes just play passively and realize equity. I mean, you're drawing to nutted equity two ways. It's one way to look at it is that it's hard to play it incorrectly. Brian, I mean, so you'll also see the same thing if you had a set here. I mean, a set is going to do all different things because it's just got so much equity. So,
they don't.
so
But like
either go ahead, sorry.
no, like the thing is like if you're not going to check raise, then why wouldn't you just bet yourself? Like that's the thing that I wouldn't get because then like
Checking is so
it's
great because when you check, you get to realize the next card for free when when it checks through. And then when they do bet, you get to maximize your fold equity by check raising. So yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't want to bet as much as I would want to check raise here. Or check through and I get to realize another card.
So I think calling is fine. I think Brian, is leaning towards another option. And again, I think both options are good. They're both they both have different intentions, and either intention is profitable. This hand is essentially the way to look at this hand is profitable no matter how you play it. There's no clear right or wrong.
So I just called, I think, yeah.
That's fine.
I
You're
just
now
thought-
drawing towards nutted equity multi-way. That's fine too.
I just thought I hope someone else has got spades and we can stack them, you know.
Yeah. You've got lots of beautiful implied eyes here.
And gain a great price as well, right? I mean,
Agreed.
then that.
Okay.
So
And
Oh,
our
now
initial
you have a
raiser does
double
what?
gutter.
double gutter, yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Oh.
25 into 77.
Okay, so
And
25 to 7 call. Now's a good time to check raise. Shove.
I liked it better on the flop, but I don't hate it. I mean, I just we have a hand that wants to get a lot of fold equity.
I think
Has a ton of
now I
equity.
prefer a check raise shove. So they bet so the in position player bet 25 into 75.
yeah.
Yeah, that guy and
77.
that guy to your the guy to your right is so capped right now, and we
Yeah, the
also think
initial
that
raiser is really capped unless he's like doing some kind of weird trap shit with eights.
yeah. So I think that
So,
we just
so
check jam.
I think check jam now is preferable to call.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
check jam is preferable to call here.
Yeah, we block the nuts, right? So
You bought the nut draws, yeah.
Well, 9-7
I just
still,
called.
but yeah.
Oh, 9-7, I see your
So
point. Okay.
so maybe I'm too passive because I just called. I just thought like
I also might be too aggressive, so
great
Yeah,
price, right? And then that, which
that's interesting. Check.
and then they checked. They all checked round. So
Holy
fuck,
shit.
you know.
Did you get to see him reveal?
you
Yeah,
win.
flush. No.
No, flush.
So maybe I was too passive there. I don't know what. Yeah. But
So
is this guy ever folding? You know, I mean,
he's probably not folding this hand.
Mm, I think you can get him to fold there.
You think he would fold to a shove, pair plus draw? On turn.
I mean, on the flop,
On the flop. Okay. Yeah, maybe on the flop.
I think you can make them fold. Do
so
they really want to play for all the money against that
All right,
with
so
8-7?
I think your line is fine with this much equity. It's passive. Passive isn't always the worst, but I think if you had if you had a draw with less equity, I think you play it more aggressively. But with this much equity, I think passive is in the line. Passive line is okay. So
yeah.
let's just go back to flop, and then Brian, let's take us through what your plan is.
When I check here, I'm fine with checking
Okay,
because
so
when
let's go
it
back to.
checks through,
So hold on, let's go back to. All right, so we're four ways. We're in the middle of the sandwich. Checks to us here, $41 with this hand. You are going to check because you want to check raise. Is that right?
I mean, because it accomplishes a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah,
Because when we check and it checks through, we get to realize a card, which is fine. And
yeah,
then when he stabs and he stabs small, I mean, if he stabs for any size, I'm putting the money in with this stack depth because I don't really have any
yeah.
maneuverability on the turn or river to really push them around. So it's gonna have to be we just want to realize maximum fold equity on the flop here when we can make them play. I mean, like how much does an eight really want to play for all the money here? Like when you have all the overpairs in your range, you have everything. I mean,
Why do
they
you have all
just
the overpairs in your range? Because you
didn't he open? Didn't he open
no,
pre-flop?
he folded.
Oh,
Yeah, we opened. We opened against the limper. He under the gun limped.
Oh, I mean,
We
you're right.
opened.
Sorry. We ISO'd the
yeah.
limp.
I mean, yeah, technically they're not going to think quite as much that way, but they do think about this is my entire stack about to go in on an eight. I don't know how I feel about this, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
see your
I
point.
mean, you just get the maximized fold equity, and you have so much equity in your hand that
No, I
it's
see your
okay.
point. All right, so yeah, so yeah, you have a myriad of options here. So I like the check raise. I think that's clever. So here's your second option where you can do something. Yeah. So yeah, what size are you going to use here?
Here,
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really another option because if I go small, I don't really get the fold equity I want. And at what? So if I go to a 3x or 4x check raise with the caller, we go to 4x to 50. When we go to 50 and we do get called, we're just we have no fold equity anymore.
Yeah, I like it.
Eh,
I
So
like your
we just
shove
have to
here.
jam. Yeah, we only get to jam. That's it. We have
I
no other
like
Let's
your
side up.
shove
jam.
here.
Yeah.
I like it. I
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
nice.
All right. So one last hand and we'll call it today.
Yeah, have I got another one? Did that. Has someone else got one?
No,
I think we did on mine.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
We did.
Friday, we've got two projects brewing. Can you send me, Brian, can you send me on Discord the ranges you
Put them
anticipate
on
in the hand?
the Zoom link. I put them on the Zoom link that we
You
all
put them on
joined
the
this
Zoom
by,
link. Oh,
like
in the
in
Discord?
Discord. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. All right, well, let me see if I can see him. Okay, there they are. All right, that's fine. And then the other project we have for Friday is I'm going to try to figure out this crazy shit, which I haven't figured out yet.
Right, the MDA stuff, something.
The MDA stuff.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
In a second, yeah.
So this line is what happens. This is the value of us calling a check raise. 3-bet call. Anyway, blah blah blah. It's getting late. I'll show you all this stuff on. This is what it should look like, where we all of a sudden see the call EV on the right, and then all the red and the negative numbers. This is
Yep.
essentially telling us that this particular line, which is 3-bet, call flop, call turn, call river, is a really, really bad call. But we'll go through all this stuff on Friday. All right, so talk to you guys on Friday.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.